All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome if you are new here. Thank you guys so much for waiting patiently, as always, for the intro to finish up. I hope everybody is doing well today. It's August 19th, and today's the day. Today's the day where GTA 6 gameplay, the floodgates are seemingly opening. Somebody is going to go to jail for a very long time. That's for sure. But yeah, guys, what is going on? Hope you're all doing well. Let me pop my chat out here. Hellbound, Prince, Lady Gamer, Jedi Guy, Petrov, what is going on? Ray, he says, hit that like button. I got your package, by the way, Ray. Package secured. It's nice and safe. And I did smell it. By the way, how does the color grading look right now? change it real quick. Hold on. Is that better? Was it better the other way, or is it better like this? Apparently, it's a group leaking GTA 6. It's really interesting. It's really interesting to see how it's going down because they are doing it for a very specific reason, and we are going to talk about that. You said I looked blue. Yeah, I thought so too. How about now? Does it look a little bit better? We have Makwi Ninja with a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Ninja. He says, so glad they didn't release a disc so GTA 6 wouldn't get leaked. Oh, wait. You sound a little sus there, Makwi Ninja. Sounding a little sus. I mean, the irony, though, right? That was one of the biggest reasons we talked about, you know, them not doing a disc is because, oh, they want to avoid leaks or whatever. Petrov, you're saying, do I still look blue? Let me know if I still look blue. If I still look blue, I'll make another alteration. Hopefully we'll be good. But yes, we will be doing a morning with the missus Friday morning. I'll probably do a pre-stream member drop for like an hour or so, 45 minutes. I look warm now? Okay, good. Good. So if you are a channel member, please look forward to that. We did a members lounge yesterday. We did a little bit of Mortal Shell 2 gameplay and hung out, chatted for a while. I need to look green. Yeah. But we're not just going to be talking about the GTA 6 leaks. We're also going to be talking about a report we got today that about Horizon Hunters Gathering. And surprise, surprise, the game is in trouble. Things are not looking good. We're going to have to discuss this. Boy, oh boy, are we going to have to discuss this. We're also going to be talking about Wolverine getting a lot of criticism online. I have an interesting write-up from... I just realized I still have that GTA 6 leak up on my screen. Oh, geez. Hold on. Make sure it's not showing. Okay, it's not. Sorry. Yeah, we're going to be talking about this interesting write-up from Push Square about the Wolverine situation. We'll talk about that as well. More so people ruining the ending of the story. Yeah, so we're going to cover this. It seems like it's escalating very quickly. The people who are leaking the GTA stuff, they are basically making demands, you know, to Rockstar Games and Take-Two Interactive. And I have to wonder, you know, we'll go into detail what's going on here, but I just wonder, like, if I'm Take-Two Interactive, what do you do right now? What do you do? Because you're pretty far from the game coming out. You know, there's a lot of build-up, years and years and years of build-up. You're still a couple months away from the game. We're like a week away from the Netflix gameplay. I mean, they have to be panicking right now. Because this isn't... So let me give you the context. Okay? So report here. By the way, before I read this report, I need you guys to inform me, do I look... Is that thing happening again? Is it too bright? Am I too white? I want to know because I want to make sure you know, if I have to make adjustments to my monitor, I don't want to be looking like oversaturated over here. Oh, yeah, no, Rockstar's going to go after them for sure. We're good? Too dark. Petrov, you're saying too dark. Interesting. You sure? Shouldn't be too dark. Coming out, it's called You Suck It Up and Save multi-million-dollar lawsuits from Netflix and everyone else. Give people a limited edition disc version. Warm up the light a little bit. I made it even warmer. Let's see. Well, you know, I mean, that's the whole thing, is they're demanding a disc. Mortal Shell 2 is good, man. Yeah, it's good. It's a quality game. Very good looking game. Very smooth. This is with the article not up on the screen. This is with the article up. Let's try to sit further back. But all right, guys, we have an original story from Push Square. And guys, before we dive into these topics, do me a favor. If you enjoy these streams, if you enjoy the content, if you enjoy what I do here on the channel, please take a moment and hit that like button. Hitting the like button lets me know you enjoy it, and it helps with YouTube's algorithm. And if you want to support the channel and the community directly, consider becoming a channel member, consider gifting memberships, super chats, and direct donations. We're completely fan-funded. We're sponsorship-free. This is how we roll, and so a big thank you and shout out to everybody who contributes and makes this possible. Couldn't do it without you. The original story says multiple videos of what appears to be legitimate GTA 6 gameplay and are currently being posted to the internet by a leaker. We've seen 2 clips so far. The first depicts Jason at his house from the trailer playing some basketball, and the second features some driving and crimes that attract the attention of the cops. We're not going to be linking either videos because they're easily found through social media searches, and also they don't want to have to deal with DMCA takedowns because that is a thing that's happening, which also indicates they are legitimate. And so we have an update here, okay? And they say a third clip of GTA 6 gameplay taken from an in-development build has been published online, and it sees Jason inside of a strip club. I haven't seen this one. He's seen talking to a few NPCs, all while receiving multiple what up messages. Further, the group claiming responsibility for the leaks has made demands of developer Rockstar. It claims to have more footage to leak, and it wants Rockstar the potential all-digital future of the games industry and fake single-player DLC, presumably referring to the content exclusive to GTA 6's Ultimate Edition. Quote, publishers should beware. If CyberLeak can reach Rockstar, no one is safe. CyberLeak, the group reportedly responsible for leaks, has apparently said, quote, this is a message to all big corpo, behave or be the next target, end quote. Boy, oh boy. Now, get this. If I head over to the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit, okay, it's getting crazy. Okay, hold on. There's a bunch of stuff here. So, I'm gonna let you know there's a couple. I'm not gonna be like covering any story related things. I don't want any spoilers or anything. But there are other aspects that are coming out, such as there are gas station icons on the map, and it seemingly has been discovered that you will have to fuel up your vehicle. You can run out of gas, apparently. Hold on, there's so many on here. Give me 1 second. More GTA 6 gameplay got leaked, so here's some information. Footage is from 2025 at the earliest, as Sports Car by Tate McRae playing on the radio, which came out in January 2025. Clone key and smash window options are appearing near a vehicle. So when you go near a vehicle, you have the option to smash the window or clone the key. Tag option is available when looking at a cop, plus surrender. So you can surrender. Jason is shown using a taser. Fuel levels confirmed again. Slow motion kills like in Red Dead Redemption 2. Ray traced street lights at night. Real-time reflections in car windows. And Jason's shirt reflects a pink hue on the trunk. Cut scenes with Jason and Cal at the end. So, you know, these are clips that are available. Again, I'm not going to be showing anything here. I'm weary about even sharing them. But what this basically reveals is the depth of the mechanics that they're adding, which makes a lot of sense. I've suspected for quite some time that there's incredible depth to, more than likely incredible depth to the mechanics, more so than what we've seen in anything, even including Red Dead Redemption 2. So this does seem to indicate that. And again, this is just the beginning. And we have a perfect image with a $2 direct donation. He says, more BLK hackers are coming. I work in this field for companies that have been cyber breached. It's not going in because, or I think you meant to say it's not going on because of the industry. It's hard to say. I mean, perfect image. They're saying stop reading the leaks, MBG. Well, it's not. None of this is crazy. None of this is crazy. All right, like these are just some minor details. But what I find most interesting about this situation is why the hackers are doing it. We're leaking the leaks. The hackers are doing it because they're saying, like, listen, we want a disc version of this game, and we're tired of corporations walking all over customers and thinking they can just do whatever they want. Did I see the clip where Jason is going around tasing security guards? No. The last clip that I saw was of nighttime, and it looks insane, dude. Like, this game is going to look wild graphically because the footage that's leaking, it's not the highest quality. It's not like 4K, but you can tell just when even looking at it super compressed at a lower resolution, like, yeah, this is going to be the real deal. But I haven't seen that one specifically. And we have Lund with a $5 super chat. He says, saw your GTA 5 reaction. You were already not expecting much, and it was still disappointing. LOL. Sleeping Dogs had way better combat many years ago. Oh, you meant my GTA 6 reaction from yesterday, Lund? I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, it's GTA 6. When we see this game, I mean, we're seeing it through leaked footage right now in a way that we're not meant to see it, right? This is not how we're meant to see the game. But it's like, yeah, it looks like GTA. Like, he's driving a car. It looks like an open, lively city. He gets out of the car. He goes to beat somebody up. And you can tell, like, yeah, this is a Rockstar game. What's interesting, you're saying Sleeping Dogs had way better combat many years ago. Well, here's the thing we have to keep in mind, Vlond. GTA is going for, at least GTA 6, ultra realism. Realism to a degree that some people won't like it. Right? This is what we saw with Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption 2 was achieving things that, you know, on a mechanical level, on a physics level, that most other developers would probably try to avoid because they're afraid it's going to make the game less fun, right? But that's the thing. Rockstar's whole mission statement pretty much since seemingly GTA 5 going into Red Dead 2 and now GTA 6 is like, we want the most realistic simulation-like experience that we can create, you know? And I think some people, again, some people are not fans of that. Some people are. I mean, well, hold on. You're asking if I'm going to continue to read the leaks. Let me see what else there is. This isn't a leak, but it's something that's worth keeping in mind. So Insider Gaming has revealed that certain media outlets are currently in the process of previewing GTA 6. So the timing of this is interesting. You know, there's preview events happening that we don't yet know about. Obviously, they're locked down, but you have to wonder if this coincides with it. But Insider Gaming is also revealing that certain media outlets are refusing to cover the actual leaks that are occurring because they're currently, you know, previewing it. And they don't want to get in trouble with Rockstar. They don't want to burn their bridges with Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive, which makes sense. Let me scroll through here and see if there's anything else that I might want to avoid. Well, I mean, there's a couple of details here that if you guys don't want me to share them, I won't. All I can say is that if you want more details on, if you want more details on the, some of the specifics. If you want details on the specifics, you should probably go check out the Gaming Leaks and Rumor subreddit. You can find more there. Rockstar is in the process of taking down leaked GTA 6 clips. But it's interesting because I'm noticing that clips that were uploaded on the Gaming Leaks Rumor subreddit are also being removed. So I think this is one of those situations where wherever these leaks show up, I'm going to give Boss a couple treats because he's annoying me. We're going to feed the beast now. Obviously, guys, we want to try to hit the member goal. We want to hit 25. I'm going to continue to encourage that.
Boasty, read me.
But I'm going to feed the beast now because he keeps walking near my PC. And he knows what he's doing. He gets really close to my PC. He gets very close to the power button. And all it's going to take for him to turn it off is just one close rub against it. So let's give him some treats, okay? Saying wait for August 27th, no more leaks. Well, I mean, keep in mind, dude, like the people who are leaking this game, they have the entire build of the game, which is insane. And they're threatening Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive, and they're saying, boss wants me to stop. He's like, stop the leaks. But they're saying, like, if Rockstar doesn't respond and give in to their demands, they're going to continue to leak it, and they're threatening to leak the ending of the game. And I'm like, okay, I'm not a fan of that, but absolutely cataclysmic for Take-Two Interactive. That's rewarding bad behavior. I know, Devils. Well, you're talking about the cat, right? There you go, man. Can't risk this cat turning off my PC. We have a direct donation from PS Contraband for $2. Thank you, man. He says, I don't care if the ending is leaked. Who plays GTA for the story? LOL. Usual cringe writing with cartoon characters. RDR 1 and 2, is there better writing? Perhaps. I agree that Red Dead 1 and 2, especially 2, the writing is incredible. Some of the best we've ever seen in video games or in any medium, actually, especially with Red Dead 2. I do agree that GTA games, the writing has been a little, it's not on the same level. I have this feeling with GTA 6, though, the writing might be a little bit different, but we do know that Dan Houser's not writing for this game. Dan Houser's not writing for the game, which is a little bit surprising. Well, not surprising. I mean, it was surprising when he left a couple years ago, but surprising isn't the right word. It is, for some people, a little bit concerning that this is the first Rockstar game we're getting where Dan Houser's not the writer. So I don't think, he did say he thinks the game will be fine. He did comment on that. But I care about the story. I'm curious. Text 2 said it's fake. Someone edited the leaker's site with the inspect element to claim the ending is out, so they don't have the ending. Well, I mean, look, I'm a little bit torn on the situation. On one hand, like, I don't want to see a game that I'm looking forward to continue to get leaked. I don't know that many people really want that, but I can't deny that the reason they're doing this, I'm not against it. I don't know that this is the right way. I don't think that this is morally or ethically right. It seems like it's clearly not. But on the other hand, Exactly, Sparky. On the other hand, they can kind of go F themselves. because this is what we're kind of tired of. This I've been saying it feels like people are kind of fed up. And you're starting to see some of these hackers, they're starting to put on the black hat, and or I guess put on the white hat, depending on what your stance of it is. But they're out here straight up putting out a message like we're warning corpos and stuff. And the thing is, I don't know that this ever works. That's the problem. I don't know that it ever works when it gets to this point. I do think it is a bit of a wake-up call for some of these companies. Would this hacker group still be doing this even if there was a physical version of GTA 6? It's hard to say. If they didn't do it, maybe somebody else would, even if there was a physical version. But it's like, yeah, I'm all for that. Like, if this situation forces Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive to their knees and gets them to say, okay, please stop. We're going to do a physical version. We're going to do it. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm going to say 0% chance that happens. They're going to sit there and say, leak the game. We don't care. But in some kind of alternate universe, if they were to actually change their mind, I'd be like, great. Like, this was totally worth it. If this is what it takes, it's unfortunate, but I'm not against the call. I'm not against the reasoning. The hackers just want a payday. Perhaps. I mean, to me, it's kind of insane to risk going to jail and getting locked up over physical games. That's insane. Is there more to it? Probably. But it could be, they're trying to send a larger message, make a greater example. Potentially. Both sides are trying to profit. Yeah. Well, I will tell you this. If Rockstar does, if Take-Two Interactive does what I think they're going to do, which is we don't negotiate with hackers, do your worst. If they do that, I think they're going to do it because it's like, you can't really hurt us. You can try. You can leak it, but it's not going to stop the momentum of this game. So go for it. And that's probably how this is going to play out. Hackers have no rights. They're criminals. I hope Sony and Rockstar put them in jail. I don't think that... Well, that's the thing. Somebody said they want a payday. I don't think they've... Yeah, there's no ransom, I don't think. They're claiming that if they make a physical version, they'll stop. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't feel like a single cyber attack will do it, but where there's one, there's many. And what these guys can't do, Anonymous can, or groups like them. I mean, yeah, that's true. And, you just have to look at this and you have to wonder, like, if this was bound to happen no matter what. We know that there was an original GTA 6 hack and leak, which was very egregious. Like, the entire builds of the game leaked out, but it was like early builds of the game. And the person who did it is now in jail. So it was very unexciting because what was leaking was really early in development stuff, very far from being final, and it just didn't look very good. It was just like, okay. Like, it felt kind of underwhelming. This is different at the moment because it's like, well, we are just a few months away from the game, and people are trying to figure out how old is this build, and we're finding out this is a pretty new build. This is between 25 and 26. So, we could be looking at the final version of the game in some instances. And when you consider this, I mean, yeah, I just think, the marketing is in full swing. There's millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars on the table here in marketing and build up and pre-orders and expectation. People's expectations are through the roof. So we'll see. So, MBG, do you believe the information should be leaked? Um, I don't think it should be leaked. My view of it is like, hey, Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive, if they're telling you the reason they did this is because you're being scumbags, I don't feel sorry. Don't be scumbags. Be more pro-consumer. Do the right thing. Do right by your customers. Do right by the consumer. Do I believe the hackers 100% that they wouldn't have done this otherwise? I don't know. A group that's willing to do this might be willing to do it for other reasons too. But I don't know. All I do know is GTA 6 isn't getting a physical version. So I'm not saying it should be leaked, but I'm saying I'm not at all surprised. And I kind of don't, I feel bad for the devs. And this is the unfortunate reality of all this. It's like the devs I feel a little bit bad for them. Not completely. They're still getting paid. They're going to be rich. But it's like, yeah, it always sucks. Even with like Naughty Dog when it happened, it's like, yeah, that sucks. Spend years and years and years and years putting your blood, sweat, and tears into something, and then it just gets plopped out like that, you know? PS Contraband with a $2 direct donation says, in all honesty, how would it affect the game in the slightest, even if most get leaked? You think people are not going to buy it? LOL, GTA is played for, I think I'm going to say fun here. Well, no, I agree with what you're saying, PS Contraband. I don't think there's anything, like, I think unless the leakers can, like, start distributing builds of the game or something, even then, but I don't think anything's going to stop people from buying GTA 6. You know, the entire game could leak out. I don't think it's going to stop people from buying it, but I think it's more, you know, I think this is why they're saying, like, we're trying to warn other corporations, because if something like this were to happen to other corporations, yeah, maybe it might be felt a little bit more. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying publicly that I endorse or condone the methodology, but I think everyone can agree your short circuit Rockstar and Take-Two Sony must seriously consider a pivot. Yeah, guys, make sure you're hitting that like button, by the way, to help out the stream. Really appreciate it. We're at 50 likes. Let's see if we can bump that up to 75. We have Cheese and Chainsaws with a 5-pound chat. Thank you, buddy. He says, so do you hope hackers do this to all future Sony games in an attempt to stop them going digital? Every future PlayStation IP gets hacked. All stories leaked. I mean, do I hope for it? No. If there was a group that decided they're going to do that, and that's why they're doing it, okay. I'm not going to shed a tear for Sony. Again, I feel bad for the devs because it's like they kind of don't deserve that, but it's, you know, this is the type of guerrilla warfare, so to speak, that I think some of these, like a corporation like Sony deciding that we're doing this and we're not listening to what anybody has to say. And you know, I've talked about this before. It's worth bringing up again. The problem here, no, nobody's crying because of a piece of plastic, right? Like, even if like a hacking group threatens Sony to be like, we're going to do this to all your games until you reverse course. If Sony came out, if that forced Sony's hand to be like, okay, listen, we weren't planning on talking about this yet. We're going to talk about it now in an attempt to stop this and mitigate it. And what they're going to talk about is, here's all the changes we're planning on making to make the PlayStation Store so much more pro-consumer. If they did something like that, okay, like then I'd be like, all right, maybe chill out. You know, like, I don't know that you want to do that if they were actually planning on making things right in a different way. But the whole idea here hinges on there's a lack of communication and dialogue between these companies, the business decisions they're making, and the customer and the fan bases. And again, I could tell you the energy in the air ever since Sony made this announcement and ever since Rockstar announced that GTA 6 is digital only, it's bad. Does it mean it's going to affect the bottom line? No. Hence why I think the hackers are now getting involved. That's the whole thing here. I think it's groups of people that feel as though this is the only way. You know, where it's like these corporations are doing something that's wrong. There's too many people that don't care that they're doing something wrong. There's nowhere near enough people to actually make any kind of change. So what's left? And I think in the eyes of some people who have the ability to do things like this is all that's left. You know? Geez, you're saying with another 2-pound chat because we all know how easy it is to hack Sony. I mean, apparently, yeah. Yeah, if I was Sony, I'd be like, I don't know. Yeah, if I was Sony, I would be a little worried, certainly. If well, you know what? This did happen. We saw how Sony handles this. This exact thing happened with Insomniac Games a couple of years ago. And literally the entirety of Wolverine, and apparently they made significant changes to Wolverine since then, which isn't too surprising. But yeah, everything leaked, man. And Sony was like, we're not paying you. I believe the hackers were asking for a ransom. And Sony was like, no. And I mean everything. So, you know, there is a possibility that if a group of hackers were to do this to Sony's response to it would be like, here we go again. You know, like we've already been down this road. Wait, Muhammad, what are you talking about? No, you don't have, Muhammad, you don't have to have a hive mind mentality or anything. No. I mean, look, if your view of this is the people hacking and doing this are criminals, it's illegal, and they should be, put away. That's a totally fine, I don't see anything wrong with that mentality. But I just think it's, for a lot of people, this is one of those gray areas where it's like, yeah, this isn't the best way to have to send a message. I don't think anybody wants to have to send a message this way to these companies, but I can't say I'm surprised, man. That's all I'm saying. It's just like Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive are out here operating like we can do whatever we want because we know we can do whatever we want because you can't do anything about it. That's how Sony's been behaving in a lot of ways, and it's almost like they're asking for it, And I've thought about this. I'm like, yeah, something's going to happen at some point. I don't know what it'll be, and I don't know how cataclysmic it'll be, but of course something's going to happen. I saw Anonymous on X a couple weeks ago, like when this whole thing with PlayStation and the discs were happening. They were tweeting about it constantly. I'm like, they're asking for it. They're literally asking for it. Should these companies cower in fear and be like, please, no, because that's not the point. Are there hacking groups that do it just for selfish, wrong reasons where they're just looking to get a payday? Yes. Are there actually hacking groups that are trying to be somewhat, they're doing it, for an ethical reason, something they believe is right? Yes. And I think the problem is, like, at least with Sony and Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive, it's like, you shouldn't have to cower in fear. But you should do the right thing. That's what this whole thing is about. It's like, do the right thing. Do the right thing, and you shouldn't have to. There's no reason for you to fear anything. It's supposed to be power to the people. And, these corporations are meant to serve us. And I think that we've lost sight of that. I think a lot of people have lost sight of that completely, where it's like, in today's day and age, in 2026, you look around and it's like, so many people have completely lost sight of the fact that these companies are meant to serve us, And I think that these hackers, they do this as to try to remind people, like, you can bring them to their knees. But that's the thing. It's like what we were saying, like, how are people, who's not going to buy GTA 6? It's a tough thing. And this is where when we talk about feeling bad for the developers, I don't know, man. Well, let me read what Mach Ninja said with a $5 chat. He says, people advocating for digital only while hackers are having a field day with digital content. Yeah, I mean, it's like I've said, and I will continue to say, if we're going to do digital only, there needs, especially for PlayStation, like there needs to be better protections. There needs to be better consumer rights, the whole 9 yards. I think so I'm like thinking about from the developer perspective. Oh no, Beast Mode, are you asking me about the Wolverine stuff? No, I decided to pass on them. I think I'm just not going to be doing limited edition stuff anymore, to be honest, because I've done it many times in the past, and it always ends up just kind of sitting in the back somewhere collecting dust ultimately. So I'm like, I'm just gonna pass on it. But apparently, it all sold out like instantly. The devs get paid either way. MBG, exactly. Yeah, like the reason why I'm not completely against this, although I can see why, I can see why, some people look at it and they're like, man, this is just wrong. I totally get it. But the reason why I'm not completely against it is because this is meant to hurt the groups of people that don't care who they hurt. Okay? This is meant to hurt rich people, executives and shareholders that they don't give a shit about the games industry. They don't give a shit about the workforce. They don't give a shit about the customer. They don't give a shit about any of that. The only thing they give a shit about is the bottom line and making sure the line continues to go up no matter what, so they can get richer and richer, and everybody who's investing can get richer and richer, and they can all just do whatever they want. That's who this is trying to hurt. And when I look at that, I'm like, these are still people. I'm not trying to dehumanize them too much, but they're still people. But they're people who have gotten, not all of them, again, it's not like we're talking about specific individuals, but many of them, in my humble opinion, have completely lost sight of like what's right in the name of greed. It is the capitalistic nature of it all that drives it. It is the market that drives it. It's a lot of ignorance. It's a lot of apathy. And I get it. I'm also a part of it. But this is where it's like, if there's a group of people that it's like, we're going to come out here and the devs are getting paid. And that's another thing too. These devs are treated like garbage. Don't forget about that. They get paid good, but that's it. They get treated like garbage, man. Like the level of, it's not even just crunch. It's just like the expectations that are placed on the developers. This is why I'm saying, like, you have to think about where it comes from. You have to think about where it comes from. And this is why I'm like, yeah, sometimes, this type of stuff has to happen. This type of stuff has to happen to keep things in check and to rebalance the scales and try to make things right, because you will always get groups of people where they will just take it too far. And as far as I can tell, when you look at the landscape, you look at the business executive landscape, you look at the market, you look at the direction these companies are going in, the decisions they're making, it's like, this is going too far. This is going too far. And when's enough? And that's the problem. It's never enough. And so at the end of the day, if this serves, I don't know if it'll be successful, probably won't be, but if this serves to send a message that slow down, stop letting greed dictate everything. Enjoy the fact that you're making great profit. You're going to do well no matter what. Why don't you just build a little bit of goodwill? Why don't you do that? If this facilitates any semblance of that, I'm not opposed to it at all. Because that's not going to hurt anybody. Except the extremely rich people that just keep getting richer, and it's never enough. I don't care if they get hurt. Something tells me they'll be just fine. But yeah, that's there's layers to this, of course. Let me see here. I'm trying to keep up with the chat here. Rockstar devs created a union to oppose the treatment. Crimson Desert devs paid all employees bonuses because it did so well. How many do that? Exactly. You don't see stuff like that. I'm just tired of the greed. I think that's what people are tired of. We're tired of the greed. We understand business, right? We understand at the end of the day, business is for profit. It's not a charity, of course. But there's like no limits in place. And because of that, there's just this pure greed-driven mentality. And the word pure, it's purely greed-driven mentality of we got to keep going. We got to keep going. It's like, well, Sony, you had the most profitable generation you ever had. You know? Let me double check my direct donations. Let me see. I had a direct donation from Perfect Image. I read that. I got 2 from PlayStation Contraband. I read those. And I just got one from World's Greatest Detective for $2. He says, so much for the digital slop future that Sony and Rockstar wanted. I hope he destroys Sony as well. He's from Russia. Nothing will happen to the leaker. Uh-oh. I didn't know that. I didn't know we figured out where he was from. I mean, like I said, look, man, if something happens that ends up forcing the industry to be like, we're going to keep physical games around, I'm going to celebrate that. I don't care if the entirety of GTA's got to get leaked. I don't care if every PlayStation game's got to get leaked, because it's whatever. Like, I'm still going to support the games I want to support. But like, if this is, I was wondering when this stuff was going to start, because I knew it was going to happen. I'm like, I don't know if it's going to happen now. I don't know if it's going to be around when the PlayStation 6 launch. I was thinking it was more around the PlayStation 6. But I was looking at GTA. I'm like, well, I don't know if it's going to happen because it's one game. But, well, I mean, are they going to change? No, this probably isn't going to change anything. But, you know, it at least feels like a big FU. It feels like there's at least some type of fight happening that you know how people, they look at the boycotts and stuff and they're like, yeah, good luck with that. And I get it. And it's just all, the blackout, the PlayStation blackout, it's all stupid. It is all stupid but do you see why people do this? Do you see why? This is why they do it. Because it's like, well, what can we do to actually hurt these companies? Like, what can we do? We're not talking to people on social media. We're not going to go protest outside the building. We're not going to do some kind of blackout. What can we do that'll just straight up hurt them? And this is what they do. Because, again, what else would work? Anytime groups of people try to do anything else, they get laughed at. They get ridiculed and they get laughed at. And it is a joke, because it's like, even the companies are laughing at them too, because like, what are you going to do? And this is where it just, if it feels like these companies, they need humility. That's what they lack. They lack humility. And if it takes a group of hackers to humble them, is this criminal? Yeah, well, it is criminal. Yes, it's illegal, and I'm not saying I would do it, and I'm not saying anybody should do it. You shouldn't. I don't think it's worth it. But if there's going to be somebody or some people that choose to do it, okay. I'm not shedding a tear for these corporations, man, and the high-end executives that are just getting richer and richer off of shitting all over us. Like, I'm not going to shed tears for that. Cheese, you're saying if it was on disk game files still kept on servers. I mean, again, this is why we talk about the digital side. And that ride or die Jedi guy coming in with $100 donation, bro. $100 super chat. This man doesn't stop. Jedi guy, thank you so much for that, buddy. That's very, very generous of you. You're saying, I don't know if you saw it earlier, but you have to remember that leaking games is just a warning shot. The more serious groups can and will most definitely escalate with server sabotage, as well as a number of other things that have already been proven that can happen. Hold on one second. Chicago, why are you calling me a hypocrite? But Jedi guy, yeah, I mean, I feel like we've seen some of the things that can happen on the lower end, right? What I'm thinking about now, you're saying server sabotage. I mean, that's the thing. I'm thinking about how if this is what this group of hackers are doing, months before this game comes out, what type of damage could they do as the game's getting ready to release? And that's where I think you're highlighting something that, would it really be a truly wise decision for a company like Take-Two Interactive to ignore this and be like, yeah, we don't care. Who cares? Like, we're not negotiating, whatever. We're not doing anything. We're staying the course. I'm not sure, because it's like, dude, if you get, I don't know. It's a tough thing, because the more the hackers choose to escalate it, the more every time they put themselves out there, they're putting themselves at risk of getting caught. And if they get caught for this, it's going to be bad. It's going to be real bad. And a lot of times these people do get caught. You remember the Lizard Squad or whatever? They got caught. It is dangerous to do this stuff because you are interfering with business. You are interfering with this. This is why it's so highly illegal, because you're interfering with rich people making more money. Don't you understand? Don't you understand that, like, this is why you can't do that? You can't do that. You can't get in the way of rich people making more money. Come on. You get locked up for that type of stuff. But yeah, man, I think GTA 6 was always going to have a target on it. And I just think, unfortunately, Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive, they're not doing themselves any favors. And that person was calling me a hypocrite because I'm still going to buy it. But it's like, dude, listen, what do you want me to do? I'm in the same boat as pretty much everybody else, man. And so are you. Like, that's the problem, is we're all in the same boat, whether we like it or not. We're all in the same boat because I individually can't do anything. You individually can't do anything. Even if I right now tried to create a movement, how far is that movement going to go till it gets laughed at? It'd be getting laughed at from day one. It would go nowhere. Who's going to stand up and create that movement? I mean, who's really going to do something about this? That's the question. Who's going to do something about this? Because these corporations are making the decisions they're making because they're like, you can't do anything about it. The only way you collectively can do something about it is you have to decide collectively to not give us your money. And guess what? We're making some of the best games ever made, some of the most exciting stuff and this is why, I'm not really as intense as I once was, but this is why I would say to you guys that we are consistently witnessing the weaponization of this art form and the things that we enjoy, and even the creations of the developers, where if it was up to the developers, they would be making different decisions themselves, knowing they still have to make money. And this is where it's undeniable that greed, that individuals in this, not just this industry, it's across many industries, but I'm just going to focus on the games industry, individuals in this space with power they're making poor decisions. They're making ethically wrong decisions, and they're doing it because everything's set up in such a way where it's like, but we can do this. And that's what makes this so difficult, is like, what protects them is, it's like, but don't you feel like you're doing something wrong? Like, what about all the millions of people that have a problem with this, or feel like their options are being taken away? And what protects them is they can turn and say, yeah, you don't have to buy it. You don't have to we're not putting a gun to your head. What I'm trying to say is, in the minds of the people making these decisions, the only thing that would actually be wrong is if they were putting a gun to your head and said, you will buy it. We're robbing you. That's the problem with all of this, is it's more nuanced than that. It's true. Like, you don't have to give any of these companies any of your money at all. But I've talked about this before. It's like, so what are you left with? You have to do nothing, like literally do nothing. You're left out. You're not part of it. You're not part of any of it. And this is what I'm saying. The people who are in charge and making these decisions, they've leveraged we've reached the end game. They've exploited the setup of the rules. You know, it's kind of like when you're playing a live service game. For a long time, everybody's figuring out the meta, the best builds, the best setups. Everybody's learning every little intricate detail about the game. And it's talking about a competitive game, PvP. But then it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when people get so good at the game that, like, you're not technically cheating, but it's like, this is fucking broken. And you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? You know what you're doing. All right, Jedi Guy, I'll see you in a little bit, bro. Thank you for that super chat, by the way. Very kind of you. Like, you know what you're doing. And that's when you see the developers come in and they have to change the meta and they have to change everything up and they have to tweak things. And the cycle happens again and again. And that's just the cycle we're in right now, where it's like, things are just out of balance. There should be a physical copy of GTA 6. Sony should be doing another generation of physical games. You know, these companies shouldn't be, they shouldn't be allowed to just be this aggressive in their approach to profit. But the reason they are is, again, it's because, well, what are you going to do? Not play? Not buy? Because I could sit here and tell you over and over again, I'm not buying GTA 6. I'm boycotting GTA 6. I don't want anything to do with GTA 6. What's that going to do? All I'm doing is hurting myself, because it's like, I want to play GTA 6. I've been waiting forever for this game, just like everybody else. The devs look like they've made something truly special and amazing. And it's like, you're going to be left out and nothing's going to change. If anything, I'm making myself the clown by doing that. Well, here's the thing, Chicago. I'm not saying you don't have a choice, but what I'm saying is, like, as an individual, you have to ask yourself, do you have it within you? If you want to play GTA 6, but you decide, I'm not doing it for my own moral reasons, I can respect the hell out of that. But that's really hard. Like, that's like one of the most difficult things, because it's like, but if you really want to play it, like, play it, man. Like, just enjoy the game. And it's like, well, no, I feel bad because I don't want to support this bad behavior and this bad business. But it's like,
that's totally understandable, but it's like that it doesn't matter if you do or if you don't. Like, I guess I'm not saying you don't have a choice. I'm saying it doesn't matter. That's why I'm not against what's happening right now, because this is the only way it can matter. I hate to say that, and I don't think it shouldn't be this way. It shouldn't be this way. You know, I do kind of believe that this hacking group would not be doing this right now if it notice how it's so easy for them to be like, why are you doing this? How do you justify this? Oh, because look, they're not doing a physical version. They're taking where I read the whole thing that the person put out, the hacker, and I never really thought about this in this way, but they were like, dude, pre-orders shouldn't exist on a digital storefront. And I'm like, you're right. You're right. Like, pre-orders were created because of the alternate option, which is physical games, to be able to gauge how many they actually need to print and how many they need to ship and the logistics of it, to be prepared. Digital pre-orders are just for taking your money before they actually give you the product. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's why right now I have 0 games pre-ordered digitally, you know? But you know, I've always felt like I got to pre-order physical games though in certain instances, because there are times where you'll be shit out of luck if you don't. They're only doing this because they want the meme coin. I'm not even sure what you're referring to. I pre-order sometimes because I don't have the money at launch. Well, yeah, I guess that's fair too. If it's like basically like hold my money for the game, so I don't spend it on anything else. I guess. I don't know, man. They're doing this to promote their crypto. They're just using the physical media thing as a way to get gamers on their side. That's incredibly disappointing if true. Damn. I mean, I haven't read or seen anything on that, but if that's true, that's very disappointing, because it's like, bro, I'm not as naive as I seem. If like, am I sitting here thinking that these hackers are like great? They have no selfish intention whatsoever. No, I don't. That's why I'm saying I don't. I get the feeling that this would happen either way. But look, man, I have my own selfish feelings here too, you know, and my selfish feeling in this moment is, if this is the catalyst for Rockstar to be like, we're doing a physical version, I would be happy and I would be excited for that, because that's what I want. That's what a lot of people want. I don't know, man. I'm just tired of things being so, like, I'm tired of every great thing that happens having this layer of like disappointment attached to it, where it's like, can't wait to buy the physical version of GTA 6. Like, there is none. Like, what do you mean? Well, I can't wait for the PS6 and to amass my PS6 collection. There's going to be no physical games for PS6. It's like, what do you mean? Like, what are you telling me right now? So yeah, there's a selfishness in me too, where like, I want certain things to be a different way. I'm the wrong generation, perhaps. Yeah, it does feel like that, dude. Like, I'm very much interested in things that have come out of like the 70s and the 80s, sometimes the 60s. And Perfect Image, I'm sorry, buddy, I missed your super chat. You're saying, I missed a couple super chats here, or a direct donation. Perfect Image dropped the $2 direct. He says, remember we kept talking about, as a Catholic, should I be mad to ask, and then it happened, maybe I shouldn't manifest it. Yeah, what are you doing, Perfect Image? Straight up talking to the devil out here. Be like, hey, can you destroy Rockstar Games for me? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I don't know, man. It's murky. It's murky. Like, if I had it my way, okay, like if I felt that I could make a decision that could change things, this is what I would choose. You ready? This is what I would do. I would say, because this is the only right way, I would do it the right way. And this is the only right way. I'm not going to buy GTA 6, but we're all not going to buy GTA 6. Like, we're all going to come together, not literally everybody, but enough people. We're like enough people who and this is the problem. It's I believe people would do that. I really sincerely do. Like, I think there are tens of millions of people. I don't know if tens of millions, but at least millions. There are millions of people that would make this decision only if they felt it mattered, though. And that's the problem, is like, I don't know how to make it matter. I don't know what to do. And that's where it's like, well, be logical about it, be rational about it, really think about it. Is it possible for you, MBG, one guy, to get millions of people to not give their money to Rockstar and Take-Two to affect their bottom line? No, it's not. Maybe a couple hundred at most, maybe 1,000 or something. But it's like, and that's where I realized, like, all it would ultimately turn into is I've rallied a group of people that believe in a cause that at some point it's going to become abundantly clear that, like, you're just kind of having your own little party here. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't affecting anything. So if it's making you guys feel good and you're high-fiving each other, if that is good enough for you, great. But that's all you're going to get. And I'm not looking for that. I'm not looking for pats on the back. I'm not looking to, I'm not looking for attention, which is why I stopped doing all this stuff. Because it's like, I'm not looking for any of those things. The only thing I would actually look for is I just want something to change. And I would only pursue something if that's why I got aggressive those 2 weeks, because I genuinely thought, like, we can spearhead this shit, guys. All of us. Like, we can knock Sony's off balance right now. We can knock them over. But then Sony came back with the Randy Savage. Off balance, on balance, it doesn't matter. I'm better than you are. And that's just the way it went. But, that's why I don't mean to be defeatist. I'm just trying to be rational and realistic in that, it feels like the people at the top, those people being the executives in the suits making all the money, they look down upon not just us, but the entire landscape from their tower. And they see, like, oh yeah, they can't do anything. Like, there's a little tiny group over there that we could see, but look at the sea of people. They're not doing anything. So it's just like a little tiny blip on the radar, and then it just disappears. And I wish it could be different. I wish that, like, it would be incredible if somehow, some way, enough really big people, like big influential people, even people possibly outside of gaming. Imagine if there was some kind of, like, movement where, like, they were spearheading it, and the following they could amass, and it just proliferated and grew. And that's the type of stuff that we need to happen to bring these companies to their knees. But it's like, that's where you get into the conversation of, like, you're talking about activist type behavior, right? It puts things in perspective. Like, of all the things you could become an activist for, of all the things you could get behind, all the movements you could get behind, physical games? Do you see what I'm saying? Where it's like, it's just not a thing, unfortunately. So, will these hacks, these GTA hacks, will they result in something changing? 99% chance, no. There is that 1% chance that, depending on how crazy things get and how rapidly they escalate, who knows? If we're talking about money being on the line and the law can't catch these guys, who knows? But I'm going to say 99% chance no. I just wish, honestly, I just wish things were normal or what they used to be like. And I know that's what a lot of people think. Like, I wish we could just, when we talk about GTA 6, like, there was never really the conversation of there's not going to be a physical version, which is funny because, like, it was just assumed, like, of course it's going to have a physical version. It's just not, you know? Next week's going to be very interesting. Yes, it is. Cheese, sorry to keep you waiting with your £5 super chat, buddy. I apologize. Saying next hacker escalation would be to go after PSN. That stops downloading games and in some instances playing them. GTA launch day equals perfect time to do it. And you know what? I will say this too. The reason why I leave that 1% opening is when look back at the 2011 PSN hack, Sony was brought to their fucking knees. You straight up had, dude, you had PlayStation executives coming out, bowing down and apologizing publicly. They were brought to their fucking knees, and they were humbled in a way that, you know, there wasn't. They were like, "We are sorry," and that's where I'm like, it has happened. Does it suck, and is it like unethical that like you had to take their servers offline and their entire network down for 30 days and all the players had to suffer alongside that? But it's like, look at what it did. It made them, oh shit, you know what, we love you guys, you know, we're gonna, what do you want? We're listening, we're here for you guys. It did that. That's literally what led Sony to be so scared at the launch of the PS4. We're like, we'll do anything. You want physical games? We got physical games. We'll spend 10 minutes talking. We'll spend 20 minutes at our E3 show telling you how much we love physical games. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. And, you know, what happened when Sony got humbled? What happened when Sony got brought to their knees? They made different decisions that benefited their company. It benefited the player and it benefited the company. It was a win-win. I don't know. Oh, Corey, what's up, man? Popping in the chat saying, he said, let's rock. Why do I feel like that's Al Bundy? Let's rock. Chicago with a $20 super chat. Thank you for that, buddy. You're saying, why do you want to bring them to their knees? You want them to see they can make money through physical media. Well, I mean, yeah, I want that too. That would be the better way. Like what you're highlighting here, Chicago, is the idea of if more people were currently buying physical games, this wouldn't even be a thing. Because Sony would look at the numbers and they're like, yeah, we're making pretty good money still on this. Like, we're making enough money that this would hurt us if we cut it out. I would love to change. That's the number one thing I would want to change. And I feel like, I just feel kind of sad about the whole situation because I think a lot of people are like, this was a wake-up call for them. Between GTA 6 being digital only and then Sony making this decision, I think it's like, it turns out a lot of people don't care until the option's removed. They don't care about the option until the option's gone. I notice my camera keeps being a little weird. It has like this weird blue fuzz. It's like blue static or something. Why does it look like that? It's bothering me. I'm sorry. Are you guys seeing this? Is it just me? Oh, Easy Tone. I'm sorry, buddy. I missed Easy Tone's milestone chat. He's been a member for 6 months. Easy Tone, thank you so much for that. You're saying, just saw the Horizon Live Service news, and it's the funniest and most vindicating news of the year, and he's laughing maniacally. We're going to talk about that. It's got a blue tint to it. Yeah, why does it have a blue tint? It's like really bothering me because I keep seeing it. Damn lighting. in this place, man. Let me see if I can, hold on. I'm going to move my light and see if it changes anything. Hold on, is it this thing? All right, we'll see if that made any difference. Yeah, we're going to talk about that next up, by the way. That's the next topic in line. We're talking about the Horizon situation. We also have a direct donation from Anonymous, a $2. Uh-oh. The ending of Wolverine will be unleashed soon. His transformation to the end boss of Wolverine, sorry. I said Wolverine, is immense and spectacular. Rainbow claws for the win. I'm not sure what to say about that. No comment. I appreciate the direct donation, but no comment. Guys, by the way, if you're enjoying the stream, please take a moment, hit that like button. We're sitting at 85 likes. Let's see if we can get that up to 100. It really helps, and I really appreciate it. We need to talk about Horizon Hunters Gathering, though, because we got a situation here, guys. They're mentally unstable. Petrov is saying he wants a member train. Yeah, just a reminder, if you guys want to support the channel, you can become a member, gift memberships. We are doing a morning with the missus this Friday morning. We got some P.O. box openings. It'll be a good time. So if you are a member, please look forward to that. And if you're not a member, hopefully we can do something for you today. Something no one could have foreseen has happened to Horizon Hunters Gathering, people. Horizon Hunters Gathering, the best game since Gollum. Corey, you're saying you're late. What did you miss? Well, we spent about the first hour or so talking about GTA 6 leaks. If you're unaware, there are GTA 6 leaks occurring right now. Gameplay leaks, possible story leaks coming up. A fourth GTA clip has leaked. All right, let me see. Hold on. This just came 20 minutes ago. I'm going to take a look at the leak. Jason's run is a little weird. Okay, he just ran up to a police officer on a police bike, kicked him off the bike, then pulled out a knife, took him out. Now he's picking up the bike, the police bike. He's on it. He's driving. It looks so realistic, man. It really does. Now he's just driving around. This is a 2.5 minute leak. Swimming now. He like drove it into a, I don't know what the hell that is. Now he's under highway bridge. There's homeless people. I mean, like, these gameplay leaks are interesting, but they're like not really. Now he's starting a fight with a homeless person. He just backhanded the homeless person. The homeless person pulls out a weapon. Oh my God. The NPCs look next level in this game. Like it's kind of, like the NPC work looks kind of crazy.
You can loot bodies. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, this is just, we're going to continue to get more leaks like this. Yeah, another 2-minute clip. I don't mind. I'll be honest. I don't really mind watching these. I'm like, I'm not going to keep talking about it. I don't mind watching these though, because they're like not egregious to me. If they just keep leaking stuff like this, I'm fine with it. They're just showing. It literally just looks. It would be like the equivalent of if I had an early copy of GTA 6 right now and I could secretly show it to you guys. Like, here's just me roaming around the world doing random stuff. That's what it looks like. But I'm not going to lie, it kind of gets me excited because I'm like, dude, yeah, it looks next level, man. It looks like it's a step up. This looks like it's a major step up from, like a massive leap from GTA 5. It looks like a significant step up potentially from Red Dead Redemption 2 as well. But, I think so. Like, I'm trying, the footage quality is a little low, so I'm trying like real hard to see what I can, but I don't know, man. I was looking at the interactions he was having with those NPCs standing under the bridge, and I'm like, it seems like the level of detail in these NPCs, they seem very real. I don't know, like maybe it's not as impressive for other people, but it still looks like GTA. To be clear, like it looks like GTA. You know what I mean? It's unmistakably GTA. But we'll move on to the next topic here. We're going to talk about Horizon Hunter's Gathering. All right. Actually, let me go check one other thing first. Push Square just put out an opinion article. Herman Holst has failed PlayStation Studios, and PlayStation Studios needs a change. Okay, I'm going to bring that up too. Hold up. Oh boy. Oh boy. Give me one moment before we move to the next topic. I am just... hold on. Okay. All right. Guys, make sure you hit that like button. Let's talk about Horizon Hunter's Gathering. Let me get this stuff off my screen. So, Jason Schreier has come out, giving us an update on Horizon Hunter's Gathering. And it seems like this game's going to get canceled. Surprise, surprise. PlayStation is set to reboot Horizon Hunter's Gathering as live service strategy struggles. This is coming from Jason Schreier. Following poor feedback from the playtesting, the plan now is to strip out the live service component and turn it into more of a traditional co-op multiplayer game with a story mode and a far smaller scope. It's not yet canceled, but the studio will have now through December to impress executives with their next milestone. Many of the developers will be reassigned to another project, which will also have its evaluation at the end of the year. Only a small team working on the next Horizon single-player game right now, but it remains years away from completion, according to Jason's sources. Jason says on Twitter, as I've reported in the past, almost all of Guerrilla Games has been working on Horizon Hunter's Gathering for the past few years, and the next mainline single-player Horizon game is still far, far away. Okay. Let's talk about it, guys. So, this is some great news. Oh, he did a video on it? An utter embarrassment. I didn't know he did a video on it. Let me see. It's probably a long one. It's like 20 minutes.
Okay. Interesting. All right, I'll have to check this out later. I'm not going to be able to watch this now, but it's like 20 minutes long. Get all the info on it. So I have to level with you guys. I'm very upset that this is happening to Horizon Hunters Gathering. No, I'm not. I think this is there's I don't even know how to unpack this, man. Like I have so many different thoughts. Titus, that's crazy. I have so many different thoughts on this, so let me just try to like go through each one here. First and foremost, I hope this game gets canceled. Second, I hope something is done. I mean, I don't know if that has to be Herman getting fired finally, but it's like this is. I just don't know how this happens, man. Like, I don't understand how you release Horizon Forbidden West, the sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn. I don't know why I just said Horizon Zero. And it does incredibly well. And your next decision is like, let's make a live service Horizon game for like, and to be clear, this game's been in development since like 2018 and 2019. But then you decide to put your entire team on it. You take Horizon 3, you put that in the trunk. Say, maybe we'll return to that. But here's the thing, like, you can look at all that and maybe it makes some sense. Like, okay, you know, there was a big live service push, but then you look at the result. And it's like, this is what you were working on? This looks like trash. Like, that's the part I can't. So, the most revealing, I want to read this part one more time because this part is the most revealing part. Okay? It's not yet canceled, but the studio will have through December to impress executives with their next milestone. Following poor feedback from the playtesting, the plan is to now strip out the live service. Bro, Herman's got to go. Like, how is Herman still here? This is so revealing because I want you to understand. After Horizon Forbidden West shipped, the entirety of Guerrilla Games is one of Sony's biggest studios. They have hundreds of devs. The entirety of the studio was working on this game for not 1 year, not 2 years, many years. This means it went through multiple milestone checks. And every time Herman said, Yup. It wasn't until, I'm telling you, it's another Concord moment. It wasn't until players got their hands on the game and they're like, this sucks ass, bro. Now Herman's like, might have to cancel it. Like, bro, this is your fucking job. Your job is to make sure it doesn't get to this point. It's giving me Concord PTSD, man. That Ride or Die Jedi guy with another $20 super chat. He says, at Space Money, sadly, what you and others don't realize is that whether or not you are physical or digital, physical is the master link in the chain of custody that keeps these people from saying, server down, sorry, you can't play. I didn't get to see what Short Link said. But that is true. That is true. And yeah, I bet you this Horizon Hunters Gathering game would be digital only too. Bet you it would be. Or Space Money. That was his name. Space Money L. I agree with that, Jedi guy. I mean, I've been saying for some time now that, and I haven't been talking about it as much just because it, feels like we are going one way, but I've been saying for some time that, like, there's nothing wrong with wanting to, buy your games digitally. And if you're somebody who's digital only, that's fine too. I just wish that more people would understand, that once that option is permanently removed, it's never coming back. And if at any point in the future, if at any point something happens and you decide I kind of want to, like, for whatever reason, I need a physical disc or something, it's like, it's just gone. It's just gone. You're totally at the mercy of the servers. You're at the mercy of all this stuff. And again, it's normal. Most people are okay with that now, but it's true, man. Physical media, it still depresses me that this is happening in gaming, but bro, I'm sorry. I'm looking at what Irfan just sent me. More GTA. I'm not going to read them. I'm not going to spoil anything more. Anybody who wants more details on GTA 6 and its gameplay, Irfan just linked it if you want to go check it out. It's up to you. Kendall Fire, did I miss your chat? I'm sorry, man. It's this Horizon Hunters Gathering thing. It's just got me. Kendall Fire, I apologize, bro. I got it up now. Kendall Fire with a $5 chat says, if Sony got hacked and lost millions of dollars, I don't think they'd respond by doing things that make them less money, like sell games on discs. Perhaps. I mean, perhaps you're right, Kendall Fire. It could backfire completely where it's like, oh, that's how you all want to play it? Now we're going to be even greedier. We were going to let you buy boxes in the store. Now we're not even going to let you do that. I don't know, Kendall Fire. It's a strange situation, man. But you might be right about that. You might be right about that, Kendall Fire. Thank you for the super, bro. Horizon as a franchise is over 32 million sold. It's right behind the Last of Us franchise sales. Herman thinks it's a key IP, even though sales are from the first game mostly and one of the first PC ports. Well, here's the thing that I think that makes sense. Like, I don't blame Herman for thinking like Horizon is a massive IP that we have to do more with. I don't blame him for thinking. I don't blame anybody for thinking that because, yeah, you look at those sales and it's easy to think like we got to do more with this. My problem with what we're hearing about Horizon Hunters Gathering, again, it feeds into something that makes me very uncomfortable with the idea of Herman Hulst still being the head of PlayStation's first-party studios. And it's that, like, you're telling me you didn't identify problems with this game, like, years ago? In other words, what we're finding out is that Herman thought this game was good. It's Concord all over again, man. Like, Herman thought this shit was fire. He thought this is going to be awesome. This is worth putting the entirety of Guerrilla on. This is worth investing probably over $200 million into at this point. And it wasn't until players got their hands on it, like, this sucks, that he's like, oh. And now it's being turned on Guerrilla. And this is where, like, again, I just have to question Herman, what is your job, bro? What are you doing? Because if it's going to be turned on Guerrilla, well, like, Guerrilla, you should have known better. You should have known not to make this the game you want it to. Like, it's your fault for wanting to make this game. This goes back into the Blue Point situation. You know, it's giving me shades of the Blue Point situation where it's like, yeah, Blue Point was totally misguided for being like, maybe we can do a live service God of War game. But Herman is like the Riri at the top. That's like, you should. It's like, what are you doing? No, turn to them and say, abso-fucking-lutely not. Do you guys want to die? Do you want your studio to die? Is that what you want? You want to go out of business? You want to lose your jobs? No, you don't. Then we're not doing that. Like, I just don't understand what is going wrong inside of Sony's corporate structural ladder that, like, it seems like Herman's doing nothing, bro. I don't get it. Like, is it when Jim Ryan was in charge, was he actually, like, was Herman literally doing nothing and Jim Ryan actually just made all the decisions? It's insanity to me. It's insanity. And honestly, like, I think heads are going to roll at Gorilla because of this. And somehow Herman's is going to be fine. We got that Ride or Die Jedi guy with another $10 chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, yo, M, if we had actual digital rights as customers where my hard drive and a permanent license replace the physical disc, then still not cool, but at least logical. Yeah, and we've talked about that, Jedi guy. Like, we've like, and we're going to continue to talk about that because this is something that has to happen at some point. You know, if it's true that we have to completely give up the fight for physical games because this is happening no matter what, we have no control over it. Yeah, to me, that's not the preferable option. Like, the preferable option to me is just to continue to buy physical games and put them on my shelf, and that's it. You know, I think that's for quite a few people, that's what they want to do. But if that's no longer an option, then yeah, the next logical step is, well, at least give us some protection and ownership with the digital games we're buying. You know, where you're not just renting a license. But at the very least, speaking of logic, if you're not going to do that, you're not going to give us actual digital ownership, then at least put things in place to make us very, 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 very comfortable, kind of like what you see on Steam. Do something like that. As of right now, Sony has announced jack shit. So, but I'm right there with you, Jedi guy. We need some things to change. We do. And hopefully we'll get that change in a matter of time. Sony has had a lot of Concords this gen. I don't know if I count Saros as a Concord, but I don't know, man. I don't think anybody can deny that where we should be right now, ideally, is Sony, or not Sony, Guerrilla Games getting ready to announce Horizon 3 as a cross-gen title, a launch title potentially for the PS6, and it'll also release on the PS5 to conclude Aloy's story. That's where we should be. But instead, things went so horribly wrong with the management of this studio and the guidance of this studio. And it's crazy because Herman Hulst, he was the former head of Guerrilla Games. Things have went so horrifically sideways here that Horizon 3 isn't even really in development. It's many years away. It's not even in full production. And the game that Guerrilla has been spending, it's literally, dude, this is literally the equivalent of what we saw happen with Naughty Dog, except on a different timeline. And I'm like, how? Like, how does it go this sideways, bro? You got to be kidding me. So I'm very frustrated because I'm just tired of seeing this with PlayStation Studios. And I know I'm not the only one. And it's like, listen, man, regardless of Sony's business practices, we don't want to see their studios all go to shit. We don't want to see their studios die because Guerrilla's still a very talented team and who knows what else they could do. But it's like some people have to get their heads out of their asses. Like, I know I'm sounding aggressive and worked up, but for real, it's like, stop hyper fixating on chasing things like Fortnite. And like, I don't know, Guerrilla, maybe look at the fact that you've made some great video game series in Horizon, but also Killzone. I'm not saying go back and make Killzone, but I'm like, for fuck's sake. Like, you come to the table with Horizon Hunter's Gathering and you're like, you guys excited? Like, what do you mean? Why are you asking that? What do you think? And that's the scary part, is they think, yeah, we think you'd be excited for this. It's like, do you know your players at all? And I think that's what makes this whole situation truly fucked. Is that you got Herman, where he's like, Herman's like, this is a great game. Horizon Hunters Gathering, it's going to be the biggest thing since Horizon Zero Dawn. I love you guys. Make it as Fortnite and Genshin Impact as you can, and make it as gay as you can. You know, it's like, okay, Herman, okay, that's his mentality. But then you get the developers, and they're the ones making the game, and they're like high-fiving each other, like, this shit's great, this shit's lit. It's like, this shit is trash. Thank God somebody woke up before it was too late, though. That's the only thing I can say, is just thank God somebody woke up. Cheese and Chainsaws with the £2 super chat says, does the leaker have a full build? No Lucia shown. That's true. I don't know. People are speculating that they don't. That's a good point. No Lucia shown so far. Okay, so how about we give some memberships away today, says Jedi Guy. I got 3 questions for you. Depending on how many you get right, increase the amount of people that go green today. Oh, shit. Okay. Jedi Guy wants to, he's gonna play a game here. He's gonna ask me something. First question, does Herman Hurst... Sorry. Does Herman Hulst deserve to be fired? This is a trick one. All right, he's saying the chat can't help me. All right, I'll try my best to not look at the chat. People are probably not going to listen, but we'll do what we can here. Jedi Guy. Yeah, Herman's got to go, though, man. Ryan. Like, look, man, I feel like Herman's been given way too many chances. I need to know why Sony hasn't fired him yet. I'm serious. These got to have dirt on somebody there or something, because it's like, this is crazy. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they're afraid, like, Herman, he's got really deep connections with Kojima. Oh, wait, hold on. Jedi Guy, he says, question number 1, what was Guns N' Roses' number 1 all-time single? That would be, if I'm wrong about this, I'm going to be fucking shocked, but Sweet Child of Mine. I'm fairly certain. If it's not Sweet Child of Mine, I'm going to actually be a little depressed that I failed that. Because I've been obsessed with Guns N' Roses for most of my life. Now I'm eagerly awaiting. No, don't fucking tell me it was November. It can't be November Rain. It can't. Now I got to look it up. Yeah, no, it's Sweet Child of Mine. See, November Rain, it says Guns N' Roses' only number 1 single in the U.S. Billboard Hot 100, Sweet Child of Mine. November Rain is a massive, epic power ballad that reached number 3. Welcome to the Jungle is a high energy staple. I gotta be right. I was right. I knew I was right. I was gonna be really upset if I got that one wrong. It's not my favorite song from them. In fact, I've heard that song so many times that I'm like kind of depressed. Like, it's like one of those things where just like, please, I don't want to hear it again. But Jedi Guy drops 5 member gifts for you. He drops another 5. This guy's been doling out the memberships, man. I've passed level 1. Drummond, it's not November Rain. I just looked it up. I think November Rain is right behind it. But yeah, Sweet Child of Mine is it's fascinating that that's their number 1 song. But Jedi Guy's he's been great to the community, man. He's been dropping so much support. He dropped a bunch of super chats today, but he's been raining memberships on you guys. And listen, if you do get gifted a membership, like I said, we're doing a members only morning with the missus Friday morning. We'll probably do a member drop beforehand, but
All right, let me add that to the goal. And if anybody else wants to contribute, we want to get some motion here. Are my sound bites not playing? By the way? Hold on, my YouTube studio crashed again. Give me a second. Give me a second here. Okay. He's got question number 2 coming up. Petrov, you might have to take blood pressure medication now. Oh shit. Yeah, I'm right there with you, bro. Cheese, you're saying you're membership immune. When you say that, I know you. I don't think you've said before you don't want a membership, but are you literally like? Are you trying to get one now? And you're not, or do you just still not want one? Because I can respect that, you know, if you're not interested in the membership stuff. Okay, it's intentional. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Sony destroyed your blood pressure, Carl. Same. It just so happens that the month after they announced it, I will no longer be able to buy physical disc games. I had to go on blood pressure medication. It's real to me. It's real to me, damn it. All right. All right, let me head back to my chat. Hold on, I need to see if Jedi Guy asked the second question here. He says, "What? Okay, hold on. Okay, Jedi Guy says, number 2, what is the name of the dog that Sean Connery talked about in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade?" Oh, God. Fuck. I don't know. Hold on, I'm not looking at the chat. Wasn't it like... Wasn't it... What? It wasn't it his name? Right? Like, I don't... oh, man, I don't know. Wasn't his name like Indy or something? I don't know. It was, wasn't it? See, Prince is saying Fido. Stop. He named his dog Indiana. He named his dog Indiana Jones. I'm gonna look it up. Hold on. Henry Jones Jr. Hold on, wait. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, no, it says the dog's name was also Indiana. In the movie Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, it is revealed that the adventurer's real name is Henry Jones Jr. And all right, yeah, I don't know if that's gonna. Did I get it right? I got it right. Oh my God, I can't believe I got that right. Okay. All right, well, Jedi Guy, he dropped another 10 member gifts for you. Man, now I'm sweating. The third question is going to be tough. iTrophy 100. Yo, iTrophy unlocks. You're trying to get a membership. Make sure you click the membership icons and make sure you are opted in. You might not be getting one because if you're not opted in. I can't believe. I thought it was like Indy or something. Because I remember that movie, and I'm like, wasn't it? Well, hey man, I'll take it. I'll take it. Henry Jones Jr. Thank you, Jedi guy. I appreciate that. I've passed level 2 on the Jedi Hour with MBG. Membership is opt-in, yes. If you haven't received a member gift, iTrophy unlocks, make sure you click either of Jedi's icons, gift icons at top. It'll ask you to opt in. But I appreciate that, Jedi guy. It's really kind of you to he dropped another 10. Takes us to 15. All right, we'll wait for the third question, and then we'll continue to talk about. I'm probably going to get the third one wrong. I doubt I'm going to get. I don't see myself being 3 for 3. I'm gonna try though. I'm gonna try. I'm afraid of what the question will be too. And yeah, guys, if you could do me a favor, make sure you hit that like button. Really appreciate that. You are opted in. Okay. Yeah, well, hopefully you'll get one at some point. I mean, most people that I've noticed that have been hoping to receive one, they've gotten one. You never know when it'll be your turn. Corey says, stop crying. Stop whining. Now you know, MBG, you can revisit the movies. Yeah, my Indiana Jones knowledge is not too extensive. Certainly not. I've never been like super into it, but your generational knowledge is most impressive. But are you truly ready for your Star Wars question I almost said of the day. Question number 3 will tell us all. Oh shit. Okay. I mean, Star Wars, I don't know. I feel more confident with Star Wars than I do with Indiana Jones. Certainly. But there's so much. I don't know. The last Star Wars question you asked I actually got wrong, I think. So we'll see. We'll see. I eagerly wait now. Playing games over here. So the Horizon multiplayer's cooked. It seems like it. Yeah. Well, I have more to say about that. We're going to get back on that in a few minutes here. My big thing with the Horizon multiplayer, I want to talk about, apparently they're changing the game. It's not going to be live service anymore. It's going to be apparently it's going to be a co-op game now, like with a single, not single players. It's just like a story-based co-op game now. They're like removing the live service aspect, excuse me. Corey says, I forgot how to adjust my payment method. Won't accept my postal code. Not a zip code. Uh-oh. Corey's running into some issues. He's trying to help you guys out. I don't know if YouTube changed something. How do you change the payment method? I think you have to do it in your Google account. Or maybe it's possible you have to go to the Play Store and do it through there. I haven't had to change it in a long time. Or maybe your Google Wallet. One of those you could try, Corey. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, as in I don't got a zip code. Oh, is that what's stopping you? Did it not ask for a zip code before? Bro ain't got no zip code. What's going on? Well, I believe in you, Corey. If this is how you got to retire, I understand. Jedi Guy's taking an awfully long time with this question. It's making me nervous. Yeah, I have played some Mortal Shell 2. It's really good. Yeah, it's really good. I will let you know, speaking of memberships, I did a members lounge yesterday. All right. Guys, make sure you're hitting that like button. Where are we at? Oh, okay, hold on. Jedi Guy's come in, and he says, question number 3, true or false? R2-D2 is the only droid that retained the entire timeline of direct knowledge for all characters that he ever came in contact with. Oh man, this is a tough one. This is a coin flip. So I'm pretty sure that's true. I'm gonna say that's true. Is that? Or wait, hold on. Oh wait, hold on. You're saying the only droid? Hold up. Oh, I don't know. I know he. Well, hold on. See, the C-3PO? Fuck, I don't know. Okay, I'm not looking at the chat. I don't know. Like, I want to say true. I want to say true because I feel like that would make him special. But C-3PO, I don't know if he would be. Well, I don't even know if it would be. All right, fuck. All right, fuck it. I'm gonna say it's not true. The amount of droids that are in the Star Wars universe, there's got to be somebody else. I think it might be C-3PO, but I don't know. I'm gonna say false because there's no way, right? Like, is it possible? I don't know. I'm saying false. I'm locking in my answer. False. That's it. I hope I got it right. You're stressing me out. You tell me if I got it right or wrong. I probably got it wrong. I got it wrong. It was true, wasn't it? I should have went with my gut. Oh, boy. You've seen the video. Oh, the GTA leaks. You think the game looks mid? You think so? Didn't C-3PO also go? I don't know. I got it wrong, didn't I? I should have went with my gut. Fuck. It was true. You know what? Damn. See, this is... there you go. You got me panicking under pressure. It was true. Well, my logic behind it was, fuck. Yeah, no, you're right. His memory was wiped. God, that was an easy one. No, I think... See, what's messing me up is I never watched the ninth movie, man, the last one, and I don't know, but my logic behind that was if that's what would make R2-D2 like really kind of stand out, you know. But then I started second guessing myself because I'm like, I don't know, you got C-3PO, how many other droids in this universe? God damn it. Well, at least now I know. But something tells me a couple years from now, my Star Wars knowledge is going to be a lot better. Okay, all right, that makes me feel better. You're saying, to be fair, John, I will never question you about the last 3 films. Okay, yeah, I think that's what was messing me up a little bit, because I'm like, I don't know, like I do have gaps in my knowledge. Surprisingly, the only one I haven't seen is the last movie. I say that's surprising because I really started to
fall out of Star Wars with, you know, the newer trilogy, but I did watch, you know, The Last Jedi, and I'm like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. They kind of lost me a bit. It was wiped in that god awful last film. Well, either way, Jedi Guy, I do appreciate it. That was a little fun side thing there. Got some trivia. I mean, I'll take the wins where I can get them. I got 2 out of 3. I'll take that. I can't believe I got that one wrong though, but the Indiana Jones one right. That's crazy to me. But I appreciate it, bro. Thank you for the memberships anyway that you did drop. You still dropped 15. That's a lot, bro. We are 10 away from hitting the goal, guys. And you dropped a lot of super chats earlier too. So thank you, Jedi Guy. I really appreciate the support, man. Really do. They got wiped somewhere. Bloody Disney messing up my knowledge. Yeah. Dude, the last question he asked about Star Wars was something regarding, I think, the it was like the lore of the Star Wars universe before they before Disney took over and kind of made it so like, yeah, all this extra universe stuff we did, not doing it. Oh, he still drops 5 anyway. Oh, he says here's a consolation prize for the chat. Good luck, everyone. Well, thank you so much for that, Jedi Guy. That was, you didn't have to do that, bro. He already dropped 15 for you. He made it 20. Thank you, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, we're 5 away from hitting the goal, guys. Jedi for the win. W's in the chat. Jedi Guy, who's your favorite Star Wars character? Is it Yoda? I mean, your profile picture's Yoda. Didn't Disney wipe the lore when they implemented? They even implemented, oh, it's so bad. I mean, yeah, I remember people were really upset that they essentially decided that like all the lore outside of like I think the core movies was just like wiped. And when you consider like how far it went, it's like, yeah. But Corey Case, thank you for the W in the jewels, the 1,000 jewels. Appreciate that, buddy. Yeah, I remember that, Carl. That was really cool too. Well, let's Rogue One was good. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Isn't like Disney kind of rebooting Star Wars? Not rebooting it, but I mean like they're going to be trying like a bunch of different things now. Everyone teach MBG the way. I'm gonna be yeah, brushing up on my Star Wars knowledge. I used to watch this Star Wars YouTube channel. What's his name? The Stupendous Wave or something like that. And he would basically make videos just covering all of this extended Star Wars lore. And I was super into it. I'm like, this shit's awesome. You know? But it's been a long time. But let's go back to let's finish this topic out. Horizon Hunter's Gathering. So for those who may have missed it, Jason Schreier, came out and said that following poor feedback from the play testing, the plan is to strip out the live service component and turn it into more of a co-op multiplayer game with a story mode and a far smaller scope. The game has not been canceled, but they pretty much have until December. Oh, Luna's here. They have until December to impress executives with their next milestone. So in other words, if the next build of Horizon Hunter's Gathering doesn't impress, I guess, Herman and a few others, this game's probably going to get canceled. By the way, guys, I do want to encourage you. We are 5 away from hitting the goal. Luna is here. Luna's here. She says hello. I'm holding her like a baby. We got it. We got to hit 25 so I can give her. She wants her. She wants her catnip. She has the best fur. Oh, okay. Hold on. I'll put it down. She wants to. She wants her catnip. She wants to relax. She has like a routine now. Easy Tone. You dropped a $5 super chat. I'm sorry, I missed this, buddy. He said, bring back Shuhei and double his salary by giving him Herman's money. Herman is the snake that sunk Sony Studios. The leaker straight up threatened Sony. Oh, shit. Hold up. Well, yeah, first off, Easy Tone, I agree with you. Dude, if Sony could get Shuhei Yoshida back, that would be huge. That would be huge, man. But I don't think Shu's going to come back. I mean, I don't know. Money talks if they were willing to offer him enough money, but Sony's probably too arrogant for that at this point. You're saying the leaker straight up threatened Sony, said no one is safe. Was it specifically directed towards Sony? Or did you interpret, like, when he said no one is safe, like that's counting Sony as well? All right, I think I'm just gonna have to give Luna her catnip. She's literally just standing there like, I'm waiting. He said publishers beware. Okay. I mean, yeah, considering the situation that's going on with Sony, I think Sony should probably tighten up their security. They should be on the lookout. I want to ask you guys this, though. When it comes to Horizon Hunters Gathering, what do you think about this idea that Guerrilla is reworking the game to make it to make it a co-op game now with a story and removing all live service elements? I don't think that's going to save it, dude. I'll be honest. I don't think it's going to save it. I think the game is cooked. Irfan, what is this that you sent? GTA 6 leaker threatens Sony over digital-only future, promises 2 to 4 more leaks. Let me see. Hold on. 2 to 4 more leaks. Shut Guerrilla down. Well, don't shut them down, but I'm trying to read through this real quick to see where it says about Sony. The group has now indicated that the leaks are far from over, according to information shared through its Discord community. Another batch of leaks is scheduled at 8 p.m. Eastern on August 19th, so that's 8 o'clock tonight. CyberLeak says the next release will contain 2 to 4 more leaks, although it is not confirmed whether these will be videos, screenshots, or both. The group reportedly described the upcoming release as... Okay, why did they repeat what they said? Okay. All right, well, yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense they're going to draw this out.
All right. Nah, I didn't want to keep making her wait. Feel bad. She's like waiting there so patiently. All right. So Cheese and Chainsaws with the £2 super chat says hackers should get Wolverine info. Leak its ending. I mean, I disagree with that only because I feel like Insomniac has suffered enough when it comes to the leaks. They already had to suffer through like one of the worst leaks ever, you know? Not again. MBG, stop reading the leaks. I'm not reading the leaks right now. I'm not reading them right now. Can we get some intergalactic leaks? I mean, surprisingly, we haven't gotten any. But, I mean, Naughty Dog's another studio that had to suffer horrible leaks, you know? Let me just talk a little bit more about Horizon Hunter's Gathering. This idea of them reworking the game to try to salvage it. I just don't think there's anything they can really do to salvage it, because I think that there's just some fundamental things about the direction they went in with this game that I just don't think appeal to Horizon players. Unless they're willing to completely overhaul it, you know, and start over, which it wouldn't make any sense to do that at this point. I don't think there's anything they can do, man. Hey, bro, what is that you just popped the top off of and decided to take a swig of? It is Waterloo lemon. What is this? Lemon Italian ice flavored Waterloo. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's basically some seltzer water. I drink a lot of seltzer water. Change the art style and maybe you'll be interested. Well, that's the thing. Like, I think almost everything about the game is wrong. Not just the art style, the character design. You know? The gameplay, like, I don't know, maybe the only thing. See, the thing is, I haven't played it yet, so I can't tell you what the gameplay's like, but I don't know. I don't think them changing it to be a co-op game and removing the live service elements is going to just suddenly make people be like, oh, I'm more interested in it now. I don't think that's going to happen, man. I don't see how it could. I think Sony's best bet is to talk to NCSoft and get them to make a proper PS5 port, or maybe give it to Guerrilla so they can do the PS5 port for the Horizon Steel Frontiers, because that looks like a good multiplayer version of Horizon. That looks like what Horizon multiplayer should look like. Never heard of it, but thank you very much for the MBG Vanna White moment. You're welcome, bro. It's good. It's good. If you're in like seltzer water or anything, it's Waterloo's pretty good. There's so many different brands these days, but Waterloo's never really disappointed. What Horizon had, the Horizon graphics maybe be. Oh, you're saying if Horizon, yeah, Carl, I've said this every single time. Really, Luna, you're gone already? Okay, I've said this every single time we've talked about Horizon Hunter's Gathering, and that is this game, when it was created, like one of the first decisions should have been, we're going to make it look like Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West. You know? Oh, yeah, Jedi Guy. I'll be sure to check that out, man. Yeah, I think I got notified earlier, but I was running late with the stream and everything, so I'll be sure to check that out, bro. Thank you. No one's going to. Why not just port the NCSoft game over to PS5? Yeah, I mean, I don't think Guerrilla. Here's the thing. If Sony is upset with them right now because they're like, yeah, the player feedback has been negative. People are not feeling good about what you've cooked up here. We've spent
a lot of money. Again, probably over 150 million, maybe more on this game. You've spent years. You spent over half a generation working on this game. I don't imagine Sony is willing to give them time or money. Like, so what I'm trying to say here, because I'm just kind of talking in circles, what I'm trying to say is the fact that Sony's giving them a deadline of December, to me, that tells me they're screwed. Because what can you really, truly change? Some people in the chat are screaming for leaks of other games. Come on, guys, you're asking for emotional and psychological damage to the devs. Yeah, I mean, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. You're fine with the art style. You wish the tone of the game was more mature, though. Well, I'm going to stand by what I've said about my idea, my personal idea that I had for a Horizon game. I think a really cool thing for them to do would have been a third-person shooter set in the Horizon universe, and the setting is during the machine outbreak, when humanity was fighting back against the machines before the machines completely took over. That would have been sick. Not saying it could have been a live service game, but now that they're trying to pivot to salvage this game to make it a co-op game, you could have just made that a co-op or a single-player game. Or like you could play it single-player, but you could play it cooperatively. You could even have a little multiplayer in there. You know? OTG 1776 with a $5 chat. Thank you, buddy. Says the worst fumble is they could have used the same maps and cut production costs like the Ghost of Legends live service. Sony is fumbling bad. Well, this is why I keep placing the blame on Herman Hulst, man, because it's like his job. His job, literally. Oh, Luna came back. His job is to manage these studios and make sure things like this don't happen. And it's happening again. And I just have to continue to question, how long can Herman continue to make these mistakes until Sony's like, we've had enough? How much more money can Herman afford to lose Sony? Sony's all about trying to save money. Maybe that's the unknown project Schreier mentioned. Did he say there was an unknown project? Oh, hold on. 6 minutes ago, Jason Schreier, Intergalactic did not have the majority of staff until after The Last of Us Online was canceled. And then most people on the studio came over to work on Intergalactic. The Last of Us Online was canceled around late 2023. I think there's a belief out there that The Last of Us Online was just a kind of side project while most people were working on Intergalactic. No, the opposite is true. Intergalactic did not have the majority of staff until after The Last of Us Online was canceled. Then most people in the studio came over to work on Intergalactic. Many people in the studio, I would say the majority of the studio, was working on either The Last of Us Online or the remasters and the remakes that they were doing throughout the 2020s, which is why we haven't seen a brand new game from them since 2020. Yep, I'm not surprised by that at all, dude. And Easy Tone drops a $10 super chat and says, I'm so excited that Herman is giving Guerrilla a chance to waste more months of its time on that trash. Maybe it'll help him get fired sooner. Herman brings out my inner Rich Rod. Oh, I mean, when you put it that way. Jedi Guy says, guys, we are 5 memberships away from hitting a really awesome goal today, MBG family. # let's make it happen. Yeah, I don't know. Jedi Guy's the only one that was showing up for memberships today, bro. Somebody's got to get us back. But yeah, Easy Tone, I agree, man. It feels like it's a complete waste to just let them take more months to do this. You know, more months to try to salvage something that's like, dude, you're not going to salvage this game. I mean, lick. Look, if they completely overhaul the art style and they're like, we're just making it regular Horizon Forbidden West graphics, and it's going to be a co-op experience, and it's got a beginning, middle, and end. If they do that, maybe, but they can't do that. That's like not possible. And we got Zanarkand Blitzer coming in. He dropped, what was that, 3 10s? 3 10s. Let's see what he's saying. Jedi Guy said somebody dropped 5 memberships, and Zanarkand's like, I'm going to drop $30 in super chats. It all helps. Uh-oh. Oh, you okay? Luna, you good? I think she actually breathed in too much catnip there. She's okay, though. Let's see what Zanarkand's saying. He says, MBG, write down or screenshot RTX 4090 checklist to prevent fire/melted ports. Get an ATX 3.0/ATX 3.1 PSU. 80 plus gold or platinum, which is better for reduced energy consumption. The capacitors are Japanese quality. Use official 12 VHPWR cable in PSU box. Don't use a third-party adapter/cable like Bellmawr. Push connector into 4090 firmly until you hear an audible physical click. There must be absolutely zero visible gap between the plastic of the cable plug and the plastic of the 4090's power socket. Don't bend the power cable immediately after it exits the 4090. Jesus. All right, hold on. Let me screen cap this. Yeah, I don't know. When it comes to the PC build, I was doing more and more research. I think Silent Spartan, he's got to really think about whether or not assuming he didn't already ship it, he's really got to think about this because, bro, I'm not ready for something like this. I was doing research into the 4090 and, what would need to be done? Like what kind of PC? A monkey could build a PC? Jeez, I don't believe that. What are you saying? What are you trying to say right now? I mean, no, I have a decent understanding of what's being said here in these super chats, and I was researching it, and I was looking into, what I would need to buy, and this is like the big thing that I realized is I had this idea in my mind that if I were to get a 4090, I could just buy a power. So I don't think a 4090 would even fit in my current PC. I would pretty much need to buy a bunch of different PC components, new ones, and do like a new build. And yeah, like, do I have the right motherboard? I'm not sure. Probably not. I don't think Ray was like, hey, don't you dare. And so did you just call MBG a monkey? He wasn't standing for that. It's okay. I don't think Cheese meant any harm by it. Look, if he's calling me stupid, maybe he's not totally wrong. I hate to say it. I don't know. I mean, I was looking up like how to build PCs and shit. And it doesn't. I mean, I don't know if it's one of those things where it doesn't seem that hard. Like you can do it, but I look at it. Here's my whole thing. My whole thing is like I don't know that I want to I don't know that I want to build my own PC. Maybe this is just a console gamer in me. Shadow Link, he drops a $10 super chat. And he says, I'm going to be honest, Hunter's Gathering doesn't look that terrible. I just looked it up and the art style isn't bad, but I saw a random super... I don't know if you said this to make me laugh, but I saw a random super fat character and was wondering why. But I don't know. I just want games. And he drops another $5 chat and he says, also, I don't like the change to digital because I don't care anymore. I'm going to ride it out until the wheels fall off. Oh, well. I mean, that's fine too. Shadowlink, like, I don't judge that. Shadowlink is also ride or die. I'm going till the wheels fall off. I'm going down with the ship, my friends. It's happening. Well, Shadowlink, yeah, so you said here you were kind of excited. Like, you don't think Horizon looks that bad, or Hunter's Gathering doesn't look terrible when it comes to the art style. And to be fair, that you're not the only one that said that. I've seen numerous people say they actually kind of do dig the art style, but you said there's a super random fat character, and you're just wondering why. And this is the problem, Shadowlink. I'm going to tell you why. Guerrilla Games is too woke for their own good. And there's there's nothing wrong with, like, you want a heavy set character. Yeah, like, they want to be inclusive, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But it's like, I just think sometimes you're getting the wrong types of people to try to represent others. Where I think, like, their heart is in a good place, like their intention is good. It's like, well, we want to have a heavier set character, so, you know, when people play this game, if they're heavier in real life, you know, they feel represented. And it's like, okay. So it's like, let's make him a fucking Mack truck. With a peg leg. And I'm like, I'm not going to lie to you. It starts to feel like some of the developers in the studio, like some of the artists, they're seeing how far they can take it and get approved. It's like they're making bets with each other, you know, where it's like, all right, I'm gonna show this to my coworker, and I'm like, you think they're gonna approve this? It's like, I bet you $50 they won't. I bet you $50 they will, and then they take it to the higher ups and are like, this is amazing. Bring up the image. All right, let's show you the Horizon Hunter's Gathering characters. And yeah, I think that's just where they take it too far. This game is beyond cursed, man. Like, it just comes off like they're trying too hard, and that's the problem. Like they're trying to get points for something, and I don't like that, because it's like, it doesn't feel natural. It feels forced. And Shadowlink drops another $10 super chat, and he says, one more thing is, you and everybody talking about Steam makes me want to check it out. Just staying away from buying an Xbox, but want Fable and Elder Scrolls. Don't care about much else. Yeah, I mean, Shadowlink, it's kind of a tough thing, man, because I'm assuming you're a lot like me, where you play on PS5 right now. Steam, when you navigate Steam, you're going to find, like, man, there's a lot of really awesome aspects of Steam. There's also a lot of options and way more versatility on Steam. But I will say, Steam is integrated in the PC so seamlessly that I don't know how to describe it, but the best way I can try to describe it is, like, when I'm using Steam, like, I'm doing PC gaming right now. I know that sounds silly and strange to say, but I don't know what it is. It's like, it's hard to explain. Like, it's just different, you know? It's different. Like, I guess what I'm really trying to say here is, if there is a gap to be bridged, where it's like, we're taking the console experience and the PC experience, and we're putting it in a center focal point, to blend them. I did try Steam Big Picture Mode, and that gets very close to it, but it's, for me, from what I've experienced, it's not 100% there yet. I'm starting to think that there might not be able to be a true center point there. Maybe Helix, we'll see, but whether or not you would like it or not, Shadowlink, I don't know. I haven't had a ton of experience with Steam yet. I'm still dabbling with it. I think when Gears of War E-Day drops, and also I have the Metal Gear collection on there as well, and I'll probably try that. That's probably when I'm going to spend a lot more time on Steam. But yeah, I can't deny, even with the experience I've had on Steam, like, there is something that Sony gets right. There's something that Steam gets right. There is something that Sony gets right. And I guess what I'm trying to say in regards to Sony is I didn't quite realize how seamless and simple the PS5 UI experience was until I started using Steam and doing some PC gaming. PS5 was kind of all I knew. And so, that's it. I didn't have anything else to compare it to or any frame of reference. And so when I started using Steam and then going back and forth between Steam and PS5, I realized, like, man, the one thing Sony definitely gets right is, how do we make this thing stupid proof? Really, like, easy as pie, man. And Sony has done a good job with that. No, I haven't tried Steam OS yet. That I haven't tried. I am curious about that. Steam Big Picture Mode is very close. Like, I'll be honest, when I was using Steam Big Picture Mode, I'm like, yeah, this basically does turn Steam into a console UI experience. Maybe it was because I was still figuring out how to navigate it and get used to it. But this is why I think, like, I don't know, I'm just kind of fascinated at the idea of what the Steam machine is. It's very expensive, and to me, it's overpriced and not something I would buy. But the idea of eventually down the line, Steam releasing like a more streamlined version, by streamlined, I mean like more affordable version of the Steam machine that could kind of sit alongside the PS5 and the Xbox Series consoles or whatever. But yeah, I don't know, Shadowlink. It's up to you if you want to give it a try. I hear what you're saying. You're in that position where you're like, should I go to Steam if I want to play any Xbox games, or should I go to Xbox? I don't know. That's a tough one because the Xbox Series X right now is now $800. So, told you everything about Horizon Gathering was legit for my source. Here's something Jason Schreier doesn't know. For reference, 39% of playtesters like the game. The rest is negative. Yeah, so Laman, gotta give a shout out to Laman here, bro. He's been coming in. Oh, SteamOS is free. Would I have to? So I'd have to down. It's like the whole operating system I'd have to download, right? I want to say though, real quick, Laman has been coming in and dropping a bunch of insider info. He has like a source that works at Sony, and we've been saying we're going to see if any of this turns out to be true. Yeah, he came in and he was saying he came in and said this before Jason Schreier reported this. He said his source told him that Horizon Hunters Gathering has gotten like a lot of negative feedback from the playtest, and it's not looking great. And it seems like Sony is not pleased with this game. Now he says here, here's something that Jason Schreier doesn't know. For reference, 39% of the playtesters did like the game. So 39% of people who playtested it did like it. The remainder did not. And I guess for Sony, that's not satisfactory. Sparky, you're saying for your 4090 PC, you should set it up as the TV and keep your other PC for streaming. I don't know what to do with the 4090 that's being sent to me, to be honest. Like, that's the thing. Silent Spartan, I think he was basically telling me like it's just sitting in a box. He's not using it, and I don't think he cares to sell it. So he's like, I'll just give it to you. And also because he's saying like, if you can do something with it, I'll be doing much better PC gaming. And I was telling you guys that when I did play Gears of War E-Day, I wasn't completely satisfied with the visuals. I'm like, here's what I didn't understand. I did not understand the 4090. The more research I do into this graphics card, I'm like, what? I'm like literally telling Silent Spartan, like, bro, you rethink this. Like, I'm flattered. You know, I'm beyond grateful that he would be willing to send something like that to me. But I had no idea the type of beast that he was sending my way. I do have a 4K monitor. Yeah. I have a good monitor, but 4K, 60 FPS, or no, it's a 4K, I think, 120 hertz, maybe higher than that, 144 hertz, I think. It's got HDR, you know, got tone mapping and all that stuff. One thing my source and Jason differ. Jason says December is the next deadline, but my source says Herman has given Guerrilla time till February to fix Horizon Hunter's Gathering. Interesting. I don't have a 4090 right now. No. Silent Spartan I guess he had one. I'm assuming he has a 5090. I don't. But he said he was going to send it to me. He's just like, yeah, I'm just going to send it to you in your PO box. Oh. And when he said that, I was like, oh, that's really nice of you, man. I didn't realize what that meant. So but the thing is, like, I'm not sure what to do because, like, I don't build PCs. I'll be honest, like, jokes aside, like, I genuinely don't trust myself to build a PC with a 4090, you know, considering how, yeah, exactly, Tarnish. That's what I'm saying. He said he's going to send it to me during this time. Keep things simple if you can and split up the PCs. Then you can download Steam and OS and use big picture mode. Yeah, I mean, I have to figure out how I'm going to get there first, though, you know? Like, your cousin built one and she's clueless. I would have to feel pretty motivated to do it, you know? Like, I'd have to feel confident and motivated. Dillo says he's also taking donations to build a PC. At this rate, everybody's going to send me the parts. So, yeah, what's probably going to happen is Silent Spartan's going to send me his 4090. And then over the next couple of months, everybody's going to send me, I'm going to create like an Amazon list or something of like all the parts I need. Everybody's going to send them over. And then I'm going to put them all together. Do it on stream, chat help. You don't want to, dude, I'll tell you right now, I would not build a PC on stream. Cheese, in case you haven't learned by now, I'm kind of retarded. I'm going to have to pull an Alex Jones right now. I'm kind of retarded. But here's what I'll do. When I get all the parts sent to me, I'm going to take it all together. Okay? And I'm going to put it in my own box. And I'm going to ship it to somebody, one of you guys, to build it for me and then ship it back. You know what's going to happen, though? I'm going to ship it out to somebody, and I'm never going to hear from him again. Never going to hear from him again. Someone's going to clip that. Soundbite. You're welcome. Yeah, Dillo, why do I get the feeling if I send it to you, I'll never get it back? Just take it to a local repair shop. I was thinking about that too. Henry Cavill building his own PC. Okay, hold on, watch. So I think now he's putting the GPU in, or the fan. Is it GPU or the? That is funny, man. He really did just build his own PC.
It's interesting looking at it. I guess it doesn't look that crazy. Oh, there's a lot of cuts though. It's just buff Henry Cavill, bro. Superman's building this PC. That's funny. That is funny. Well, we'll see. We'll see what I end up doing. It'd be very unwise to attempt to steal from our beloved host. That guy's going to hunt you down. Is it going to be a Linux gaming PC? I don't know. I don't have any experience with Linux. Building a computer isn't hard, and it's more like assembling, mostly just connecting bits together. That's what it seems like, yeah. I don't know. I guess it's one of those things for me where it's like I don't have like a desire. I don't know if that makes sense. Like I feel like with stuff like this, people have to want to do it. Like I want to build a PC. It's like, I don't want to build a PC. I mean, it's like when I got the drums, bro. Okay, when I ordered these drums, I knew, I'm going to have to assemble all these. Was it hard? No. Does it look hard? If you get like a drum kit and you got like a million pieces, does it look hard? Yeah, it looks annoying. And like, this looks like it's going to be a whole process. And it is a process. So I don't know, maybe it's just laziness. It might be just what it is where like, even when I got the drums, like, I don't want to assemble this, but I did. And it was, it was an all day process. It's a one-time thing. Was it worth it? Hell yeah. But that's just kind of how I'm wired, I suppose, where it's like, I'm not a builder. I don't like assembling things. I don't like building things. I was always like this as a kid too. This is why I said like, there's something wrong with my brain. Like normal kids, they want to build with their blocks. I'm like, I don't want to do that. The real question is, what was I doing? What was I doing? I don't know. I've gotten better at building and assembling things, though. Let me tell you. When I was younger, I was the kind of guy where it's like, okay, I got to assemble this bookshelf, and I assemble it upside down or backwards or some shit. So, you learn. Years go by. I'm better now. I've gotten better. You wouldn't want to spend an afternoon making a rig that would get you better visuals than a console till 2040. Well, that's the thing about it here is I feel like, the research I've done into the 4090 graphics card, I think somebody said to me it's the second best graphics card in the world. Like it is truly top tier. There's only one other graphics card better than it. And I don't think you can get that graphics card. I mean, maybe you can. It was like the 5090. I don't know if it'll be till 2040, but at the rate things are going, it's going to be for a while. Yeah, only the 5090 is better. And so it's one of those things where, yeah, and that's what people were telling me. They're like, the 4090 is actually better. People are saying they would take a 4090 over a 5090. I'm like, this is insane. Which is, again, I'm not sure. I don't know what compelled Silent Spartan to want to send it to me, but I'll think about what I'll do with it. Because I also am thinking about what I want to do with my current PC as well. Like it's still got a lot of life left in it, many years, and it's not a bad PC. It's a great PC, I think. I love it. I've been using it for years. I know that Mrs. MBG would like to have a new PC at some point. But if a monkey can build one, surely MBG can. MBG doesn't want to play it because he's hyped for the PS6. Yeah, screw the 4090. I got that PS6 coming. MBG doesn't want the 4090. Oh, I couldn't finish reading it. There's nothing to it. Installing a GPU is like slotting in a cartridge into a game socket. You got to be careful. There's the wiring and cooling it's trickier.
Yeah, like I think what would be cool is if I could buy a pre-built PC that doesn't have it's like a pre-built PC that's built to house a 4090, and then all I have to do is just put the 4090 in. That'd be cool. But I don't know. I got to price all this stuff. I don't even know how much this stuff is going to cost, you know? I'll have to see when it arrives. Because who knows? Maybe yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's just the power supply. A semi pre-built. Oh my god. Do you guys see Luna? Damn. All right. A pre-built with a 4090, that'll be $6,500, please. Oof. There's nothing to it. Installing a GPU, it's like slotting in a cartridge into a game socket. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys updated. What processor do I have now? I have a 12th gen Intel Core i7 12700F, 2.10 gigahertz. That's what I got now. Would that even be compatible with a 4090? Would that work well with a 4090? MBG fans throwing him free shit at him that he don't want. Well, it's not that I don't want it. It's just it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know that I'm worthy of a 4090, man. Like, there's a lot of people I think that would give a lot for a graphics card like that. And I'm like, this is intense. I sound like an excuse maker, always looking at the negatives not to do something. Perhaps. Sometimes I am. I'm definitely like that sometimes, but not with everything. The GTA 6 leaks are insane. Yeah, we spent the first like hour or so of the stream talking about them. I'll try not to go much further with them though, because it seems like people don't want to have anything spoiled, I think. But yeah, well, I'll take it one day at a time. We'll see what happens. It's certainly possible that in the coming months I will have a new Mega Beast PC that anytime I want to game on it will be an absolute monster and running games at nonsensical resolutions and frame rates with ray tracing. A 4090 is legit twice the size of a 3060. Make sure it'll fit the case. Yeah, I was reading about the size of this graphics card, and I'm like, I don't think that's going to fit in. There's no chance it fits in this PC case. You also have to think of your energy bills. Yeah, I'm looking forward to $1,000 electric bill. Dude, this is why I feel like, bro, I feel like you guys are trying to they're trying to get me to build a supercomputer. That's what it feels like. Geez, now you're just baiting me. There are some crazy leaks from Doomsday. Don't know if you see them. I haven't seen any of them, no. Laman, you're saying Devil May Cry Remake will be announced at the Game Awards this year. There will be a teaser for The Witcher 4, but the biggest news is Sekiro 2 gets unveiled. Oh, man. We're going to see if any of that turns out to be true. That's a lot. You're saying, Marv, you're saying you have a 5090, but yeah, the electric bill can be a little high. That's crazy. Buy multiple PS3s and put them together. Sekiro 2 say cap right now. We're going to see. Well, I'm just saying, listen, Laman, he came in here and he's been giving us a lot of information about different stuff regarding PlayStation and games. And whoever his source is was correct about what they said about Horizon Hunter's Gathering. Jason Schreier is essentially corroborating it now. So still take it with a grain of salt, but no, I have not bought a power supply. I was looking into them, though. Well, I'll tell you guys this. You know, my brother-in-law, he is a PC gamer, and he does a lot of stuff with PC. He also has friends that are really in the PC stuff. So, you know, there's a good chance when I get the 4090, I'll talk to him and look into some things and take it from there and see what we can do. You can play anything you want at 1440p over 100 frames per second. That is crazy. He's going to steal it. He's not going to steal it. He might offer to buy it, but no, he's a good guy. Laman also says EA's Iron Man game is close to cancellation, according to my source. The internal game test was a major failure back in May. They've been given one last chance until February to fix it. Oh, man. Yeah, I kind of forgot that there was an Iron Man game in development, Laman. I completely forgot. Well, getting back to our discussion regarding Horizon Hunter's Gathering, all I can say at this point is I'm not even a little bit surprised to hear that this is happening with this game. I don't really feel too bad either, because Guerrilla should have been wise enough to know that this is not the direction to go in with Horizon. And before I close out this topic, you guys were asking me to bring up some pictures, and I will do that now. So here's one. Do you see the problem here? You know, people who get paid a lot of money and get a lot of benefits to make games at this studio in you know, management positions, they sign off on this and they say this is good. Again, there's nothing wrong if you want to make a heavy set character in the name of inclusivity. But I will say it again, why does she look like a Mack truck? Like, dude, it's like, it is just, it's like, in my opinion, it's practically, it is straight up offensive to like heavy set people. Like, this is what you think we look like. Like, the head's all like disproportionately small. She doesn't have a leg. It's insane. The other characters look mostly normal, I guess. I don't know. Like, I mean, yeah, pink hair, nothing really stands out that much. Men do get upset at women bigger than them. That was the whole point of it. That was the whole point of it. But I'll show you one more, and then we'll move on to the final topic of the stream. But here are all the characters. I'll be honest, man. Like, that heavy set woman character is the only one that needs major readjusting. Like, all the other characters kind of look fine. I don't see any problems. I'm not a huge fan of the art style. I mean, you got like an old dude, a young girl, a black dude. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that. I'm not going to assume what that other person is, but oh, they look fine. MBG, my source, did not want to say this since he is a bit woke himself, but he acknowledges that political correctness destroys video gaming. Yes. Well, that's the thing, man. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with, you want to be inclusive, you want to be diversive. That, that's fine. You want a diverse cast, that's totally cool. But I mean, if you look at this picture, like, somebody's going to tell you something's a little off. At least with one of these characters, something's a little off with at least one of these characters. And it's not a huge deal. Like, if I was working at the studio, I would just tell the person, like, you got to redesign this character. That's it. Redesign them. Because they look like a boulder. Outside, but yeah, my whole thing is I just don't like the art style as a whole. Because it looks, I don't mind more cartoonish art styles in games. I can appreciate that. But my problem is knowing that this is Horizon. That's my problem. Is like this, in my opinion, this is not how Horizon should look. What we should be looking at are, 6 characters that look like, if you look at the character models of Aloy and the side characters in Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, like, we should be looking at characters like that, maybe with just slightly more distinct features, since it's gonna be multiplayer and like class based and stuff. But yeah, I'm not feeling this, man. And I think most people aren't. So we'll see what ends up happening there. But that's the issue, MBG. If you do that, community makes a massive deal about it. If you do what exactly? Well, D'Angelo, I mean, okay. So if I'm being realistic about it, D'Angelo, it's like the problem with that one female character is it's not that she's fat or large. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. There's fat people all around. I'm starting to get fat. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just it looks wrong. It doesn't look right. Even if we're, it's not even about like, oh, it's offensive. Like, no, it's like, it just looks weird. Stop it. It looks too weird. Especially when you put this character next to all the others. This character looks weird. Fix him. That's all I'm saying. I'm fat. I feel misrepresented. Lawman, that's a crazy way to start a sentence, bro. Absolutely insane way to start a sentence. All right. We're going to move on. Guys, we are 5 members away from hitting the goal. MBG, you didn't tell us about your MRI results. I did. But just to keep you in the loop, Tarnished, I don't need surgery. It seems like it's going to heal. And I am showing signs of improvements, although I have some bad days. It's going to take a long time, though. It seems like it might take well over a year for it to heal. So my struggle now is I can't lift weights, seemingly. And it's really hard for me. Because every time I try to lift weights, even if it's lightweight, we are talking about Wolverine Earth, and that's next up, buddy. Buckle up. But yeah, we do have one more topic to discuss. And I actually want to read an article from Push Square, because you guys have been talking to me. You guys have been asking me, my opinion on the situation with Wolverine and a lot of the negative feedback it's been getting. I titled it, Wolverine Gets Mass Criticism. And that's true. That's what it's felt like. It feels like there's a lot of criticism for Wolverine. And I've given you my thoughts on this, but I thought it would be nice to also go over. So I have 2 interesting Push Square articles here. There's this Push Square opinion article that they put out saying Herman Hulst has failed. and PlayStation Studios needs to change. I think I'm going to save this for tomorrow's stream. But I wanted to read this article from Push Square, and the title of this one reads as follows. It says, "After the online storm, here's the truth about Wolverine PS5, sharing a clear view of the next PS5 exclusive." Tarnish, do not spoil anything, please. I don't know what's going on. It's something else happen. Sheesh. Vlund drops a super chat. Thank you, Vlund. And he says, "People don't want to see fat and ugly in video games. We don't go to escape real life. I'll go to the nearest Walmart or I'll look in the mirror for fat and ugly." Oh, well, I mean, it's a bit harsh, but I don't think you're wrong, Vlund. I think I try to be thoughtful and considerate of other people, and like, I think every person has aspects of their physical self that they don't feel great about, I think everybody has that. And there's always the question of like, how much of that collectively do we want to take into the virtual world? Because what you're saying is true, is like a lot of people, they go to video games to escape, and that's true. It's different for all games. And I think that I just personally feel that for a game like Horizon, I don't think that's a game that needs to worry too much about that. Like, that's the last thing I'm really thinking about. And it can go both ways, but again, it's to me, the only time it comes off strange is when it's really jarring, where it's like, well, that looks weird. Bro said he'll look in the mirror. What about the beautiful people who want to be fat and ugly to escape the real world? Well, we have to think about them too, Cheese. That's true. All right. Guys, do me a favor. If you haven't already, please take a moment and hit that like button. Okay, we're almost at 130 likes. I want to try to get to 150. So we would need 22 more likes to make that happen. Hitting the like button lets me know you enjoy the streams, and it helps with YouTube's algorithm, and I very much appreciate it. But let's read this article, okay? It's about Wolverine from Push Square. It says, "Playing video games is a hobby designed to be enjoyable. So why has a wave of new Marvel's Wolverine previews been met with ridicule and slander? Despite the fact such pre-release verdicts were generally very positive, inaccurate videos have spread claims about the next PS5 exclusive that simply are not true. The misinformed hate has been so bad that it's gotten back to Insomniac itself, and that's not okay. Going into this preview with the knowledge of what has happened since the initial wave of articles hit the internet is set up something of a rare opportunity to dispel some myths. This is my preview, but also clarification. I played some 2.5-hour preview build with other outlets that were also given access to it. So here are some of the standout points from the experience, along with setting the record straight on a few things. This is a cinematic action game. Insomniac will tell you Marvel's Wolverine is an action-adventure game, but in practice, it's far more the former than it is the latter. You are primarily playing the game to tear flesh from limb as Logan. While there are quiet moments to chat with fellow superheroes, explore a bar, or master a minigame or two, much of the campaign is structured around action-packed missions all about combat. It's streamlined compared to Marvel's Spider-Man, as Insomniac opts for a linear approach that leaves little room for optional activities and side quests. It gets to the point. Following a generation of open world efforts some people have fatigue from, Marvel's Wolverine offers high quality gameplay, action, story, and visuals, all at a more consistent pace than a Marvel Spider Man or Horizon Zero Dawn. You need only push forward to experience it. Combat is the focus, and there are combos. Marvel's Wolverine is not just mashing the square button, as some would want you to believe. Just like every action title since the birth of the genre, there is a basic attack button. However, the game quickly introduces combos to perform, and a skill tree provides additional abilities on top of that. Is it on the level of Devil May Cry? Absolutely not. That doesn't mean it needs to be reduced to ridicule, though. Wolverine is not a single button game. There's a good amount of depth to explore. It's essential that you engage and experiment with the depth, because fighting is what a lot of the campaign will have you be doing. More often than not, seemingly a combat encounter carries you from one scenario to the next. Let us hope there's enough to the system to entertain us the entire time. The quick time events and button prompts are not a big deal. Right, so let's sort this out. Inaccurate and deceiving social media videos have made Marvel's Wolverine out to be a QTE fest. Since I played the demo this weekend instead of at the Insomniac Games event, I went into my session with the knowledge and wanted to actually put this to the test. I made a point of counting every single sequence of QTEs and on-screen button prompts I saw during the preview. Across almost 2.5 hours of playtime, I got 6 of them. You're free to dislike them, of course, but I see very, very little issue encountering one every 20 to 30 minutes or so. So I do just want to highlight this for a second. I have seen some people bring this up. They were talking about the QTEs, and yeah, I don't know, man. 6 QTEs in a 2.5 hour playtime, I don't think that's a big deal. I think anybody who thinks that's a big deal is trying very hard to make it seem like it's a big deal. It's not a big deal at all. Now, if it was like I got 15 in 2.5 hours, that would be concerning. I got 15 to 20 QTEs. That would be genuinely concerning in a 2.5 hour time period. 6, no, that's fine. In my opinion, I don't see any problem with that. Stealth is entirely optional. Don't worry, you don't have any Mary Jane-esque levels to moan about in Marvel's Wolverine. Stealth is entirely optional in the new game. Stealth takedowns are possible, and there's grass to hide from enemies in, which is so funny. Of course, they added the grass mechanic in a Wolverine game, but this is an approach you can ignore entirely if you want. It's not a game over if you're spotted, so the focus on the mechanic has been drastically reduced. Wolverine has a revive mechanic. Compared to Spider-Man, developer Insomniac had to work out how it handles Wolverine's regenerative abilities. It's done in 2 ways, a revive mechanic and a healing attack. The latter is a simple one, as you strike staggered enemies and you get a chunk of health back. You strike a staggered enemy and you get a chunk of health back. The former, meanwhile, removes a chunk of your rage meter and turns it into a revive once you lose all of your health. If you don't have enough rage to trigger a revive, then you actually die. There's scope for character builds. Alongside leveling up and unlocking abilities, the game has an adaptations function that could be used to make character builds. On this screen, you can select a certain number of adaptations to activate, and they all relate to a different aspect of the combat system. You can make your stealth kills better or improve the rage meter, for example. This isn't an RPG where Wolverine will be completely different to yours, or my Wolverine will be completely different to yours, but this is an extra layer of customization that lets you apply flair where you want it. Nightmare doors offer challenges and story. For some reason, some channels on social media thought to make fun of a door animation because it's tied to an important plot point in the game, discovering Logan's past. In reality, when you're actually playing Marvel's Wolverine, these are called nightmare doors. They're optional activities that provide combat and traversal challenges to complete, with gold, silver, and bronze times to beat. For completing them, you earn a sort of totem that you can display within the room nightmare doors lead to. These little totems also come with an audio log that provides more context to the backstory of Wolverine. At least 25 suits can be unlocked. It's not a superhero game without a selection of suits to pick from, and Marvel's Wolverine has at least 25 of them. A screen in the pause menu had 27 slots for suits in total, but it's possible more could appear as you progress the story. I'll say there are at least 25 suits in the game just to be safe. Whiskey bottles are your collectibles, which is funny. Switching to a linear structure rather than utilizing an open world, Marvel's Wolverine has reduced the scope of its collectibles. There are no spider bots or backpacks to find, but whiskey bottles can be picked up and added to a little collection. These are your main form of collectibles in the game. It says, yes, that Sentinel boss fight is not great. The one complaint I do find myself agreeing with relates to the Sentinel boss fight featured in the previews and released footage. You fight a torso of a gigantic robot that's trapped in rubble, and it swings at you with its arms and fires laser beams. This is a very tedious encounter with a health bar that takes forever to whittle down. I didn't enjoy it in the moment, but I think it's worth putting this criticism into context. The boss fight comes immediately after you after a time skip in the demo. It starts at the very beginning of the game and then fast forwards to this encounter at the end of Act 1. This time skip ultimately unlocks more abilities to use, but they're all dumped at you at once in the preview. Playing the full game, you have mastered these skills, and by the time you reach the Sentinel, it's possible this battle plays out much quicker with an understanding experience leading up to it under your belt. Marvel's Wolverine is shaping up to be another fantastic addition to Sony's prestige first-party lineup. It offers all of the high-quality gameplay, design, visuals, and fun factor you'd want from an Insomniac Games joint. My preview session had the lot on the basis of Act 1. It's another PlayStation Studios masterclass. If you enjoyed everything Insomniac Games has put out so far under PlayStation's wing, I see absolutely no reason why you wouldn't fall in love with Marvel's Wolverine either. I think it's still got some ways to go to convince me that it could be a proper Game of the Year contender, but then the full game is only a handful of weeks away now. We will have it all by the time this next month. So that was Push Square's preview of Wolverine. And, I think that ultimately it still kind of boils down to what I was saying. Oh, you think they got a check from Sony? I don't think so. No, I don't read it that way. The way I read it is that they basically... This is somebody who went 2.5 hours hands-on with the preview. I'm more interested to hear what they have to say levied against the criticism that people are kind of, using to pick this game apart. Only because it's like, okay, is there context missing? And honestly, everything that this previewer said, almost everything, basically is what I had assumed. The only thing that I will say is when it comes to that Sentinel boss fight, that's where, again, it's going to be so important to look at the actual reviews. And it's like, let's say there's 8 to 10 total boss battles in this game. How are those boss battles? Only one of them is actually genuinely not good, and it's the Sentinel one. It would be hard to believe that, only because it's like, okay, so why would Insomniac willingly choose their weakest boss battle for the preview? The only other thing that would explain that, and this can make sense in the context of this is a linear 12 to 15 hour story, it's every other boss battle it's with important characters that they don't want to spoil. Does it seem like a tutorial boss fight? It does seem like it seems more like a tutorial boss fight, but there you go. I mean, there's, like we've been talking about, there's so much criticism being levied towards Wolverine, and I don't feel like it's something that needs to be defended, but it does seem like a lot, or at least a significant chunk of that criticism, it's being, some of it's being, I think, purposely misconstrued. But, people can absolutely criticize PlayStation, and they should. People should criticize PlayStation if they feel as though, it's a worthwhile criticism. I just think that some of the things that, like, it's what I talked about the other day. You can just clearly see that there are people that are doing this because they want to tear the game down, because they want to tear PlayStation down. And it's understandable. People want to tear PlayStation down right now. I don't blame them. They're very upset with Sony. They feel like Sony's completely ignoring them. And, I think some people are using Wolverine, as a way in to do that. It was always going to happen. Here's something I want to say though. I feel bad for Insomniac a little bit. I feel bad for them only because it's like, dude, what is it like? Why are people turning on this studio like this? Like, Insomniac has done exceptional work. Like, they have carried the PS5 generation. And I think it's fine if people look at Wolverine and they're like, I'm not as excited for Wolverine as I was for something like Spider-Man 2 or even Miles Morales. I get that. But this is where I'm like, why are people turning on Insomniac and treating this studio like, my God, these guys are clowns. These guys suck. This is why I just don't care to listen to the internet when it comes to fucking anything anymore, because it's like, of course you're turning on Insomniac. Like, of course you're turning on Insomniac. Fuck the fact that they carried this generation. Fuck the fact that they delivered more games this generation exclusively for PS5 than any other studio. None of that matters now, right? Like, I just think seeing this much bad faith put on a studio like Insomniac, I'm like, that's not fair. Just straight up. Like, it's one thing if Insomniac's last game was some kind of dumpster fire and some kind of, like, wow, this game really flopped, and is horrible. Sure. Then it's like, you can understand why people are very concerned and not willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. But I'm like, it's literally been the opposite. Every single game Insomniac has put out this gen has been nothing short of very good. Even Spider-Man 2. Look, there were parts of Spider-Man 2 I did not like. And there are aspects that I still think Spider-Man 2 is a weaker game than Spider-Man 1. Doesn't mean it was anything less than very good. It was a very well-made game, and I had a lot of fun with it. It was really good. And that's what I don't understand. Cheese and Chainsaws with a £5 super chat says, Crimson Desert is my favorite this year. It got bashed and still does. I don't care. I loved it. People cannot like Wolverine. That's fine. You like it. Yeah, I know. And that's fair, right? I'm not saying people have to like Wolverine. And honestly, I'm not sure why people would be bashing Crimson Desert either, because it's like, what about that? I guess this is where I do get tired of like, what is there to bash about Crimson Desert? You know what I mean? Like the whole, it seems like the type of game, and I say this, whereas this is the kind of game it is for me. It's like, maybe it's not for me. It's not my cup of tea. I get a little bit annoyed. And it's not just with Wolverine, but I just get annoyed at this. It feels like the trolls have, maybe they've won, where it's like, well, why would people like, don't feed the trolls are getting fed, and it's becoming this kind of cycle, people are baiting. But no, you're right, Cheese. At the end of the day, like, you just got to focus on what you like. I'm personally very interested to find out if any of this criticism is warranted. I'm interested in finding out when I do play Wolverine and I finish it, if it's like, what, actually, Insomniac maybe didn't deliver as much as I thought they would. Sure, maybe. Or is it going to be a situation where like, God damn, this was the best game that Insomniac delivered thus far? But I do think it is a little bit straight up disrespectful when people, at least with like Crimson Desert, I feel like there was concern prior to the game where people were like, is this really going to live up? This is a studio that's known to make MMOs. Are they really going to be able to make this big, sprawling, open world masterpiece, single player experience? Is it too good to be true? And I think that's all fair. It's like, yeah, we don't know. So you can choose to go in with good faith or bad faith. And I guess either is kind of understandable. I'm just truly perplexed with this Insomniac situation where it's like, I think, you can just kind of see what people are doing. Like, we get it. Like, you hate Sony now, therefore Insomniac is trash, and like, to me, that's just not fair. Like, I think you got to be able to separate the two. But again, it also is unfortunate because people who are trying to levy fair criticism and fair concern, they sometimes, get unfairly lumped in with these trolls and people who are just trying to tear a game down. And that happens all too often, even with a game like Crimson Desert, where it's like, that's the important part to separate. MBG, this isn't criticism. People are just being assholes. There's nothing about Wolverine that justifies this level of brutal backlash. It does make you wonder. Like, it does make me wonder if Sony didn't announce the disc situation, if this criticism would be this intense. How much of that is bringing out some bad actors, you know? The updates Crimson Desert has got since launch are insane. Like 2 to 3 years worth of updates. Another game would get LOL so much added to it in terms of content. That's what I've heard. Yeah, I do wonder if Crimson Desert is going to be like a Game of the Year contender at the Game Awards. I feel like you don't see many people talk about it anymore, but that game, yeah, it did really well. I think it sold really well too. Saying it's got to be as good as X-Men Origins Wolverine. Can't be that good. Don't even try. I would have to play X-Men Origins. It's been a long time since I played that game. I do remember I really enjoyed it, though. It was like my favorite Wolverine game. I'm like, this is incredibly good. Yeah, it probably will win some community awards. If this is a consequence of the disc situation, I say good. Otherwise, it's unwarranted. Well, you know, I've encouraged people, and I will continue to encourage them, if you're going to continue to buy games on PlayStation, do what you want. But my recommendation is maybe try to buy physically. I'm not saying it's going to... I don't know that it'll make a big difference, but, you know, I'm going to be buying as many physical games as I can. So, you know, because it's the last time I'm going to be able to. I have until the cutoff date of January, and, you know, you get games like Phantom Blade Zero that apparently aren't going to be physical, and that sucks. And I hope we see less of that, but, you know, for those games that are getting physical copies, I'm going to try my best to keep buying and supporting the physical games as best I can. Wolverine, yeah, it's nice that it's at least getting a physical version. In France, physical is outselling digital. We needed to happen in more regions, though, in order for it to make a tangible difference, I'd say. But yeah, that's the preview from Push Square, and I'm curious myself. You know, I'm curious to see if by the time I get to the middle and the end of Wolverine, if, you know, if it's like, man, you're doing crazy combos and you're doing crazy stuff, that would be nice. I would hope so. MP First is reporting that the GTA 6 preview event was a hands-off event and the embargo is lifting in time for the Netflix premiere. Interesting. Okay. So the big blowout is happening. I guess that was to be expected. That makes sense. And Veneno comes in. He drops a single member gift to get us up to 21. Veneno, thank you so much for that, guys. We probably are going to be wrapping the stream up in about 5 or 6 minutes. Veneno just dropped a single. He gets us to 21. We're 4 away. We're going to get a single train to hit the goal. We're this close to hitting the goal. I believe in you guys. We can do it. Veneno, thank you again, man. Hands off sounds bad. I mean, it sounds bad, but honestly, it makes sense for a game like GTA. I really think that Take-Two Interactive's whole mentality with this is we don't have to do anything. If we don't have to do it, we're not doing it. And I think it's like, yeah, we're not letting you play. We don't need to. Unless they are afraid. I don't know if maybe they are a little bit nervous. They are a little bit afraid, perhaps. I don't think so, though. Personally, I don't think so. I think they're just like, we don't have to let you play. We're not going to. I think a lot of other games, like they need to let people go hands-on. I don't think with this game you have to. Yeah, I saw that, Legion of Doom. Hands off equals you see what they want you to see. Well, I'll tell you what, man. I'm watching these leaks. I'm looking at the leaked footage, and yeah, like here's what I'll say. Going back to yeah, so you're saying based on those leaks, it looks just like any other GTA. Yeah. And I think this is where people like maybe Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive are a little bit fearful of the mystique disappearing around this game. Where like the reality sets in that, yeah, it's still a GTA game. And like I still find myself impressed with what I'm seeing with GTA 6, where I'm like, this is kind of what I expected. But I do think that, yeah, there may be like a bubble that's going to be popped, perhaps. Or maybe that's what Take-Two Interactive is afraid of. And they're like, we have to preserve the mystique. We have to keep the mystery, but we also have to market this game. We have to show the game. And I do think that the most damaging thing about these GTA leaks is if you go look at them, like it's just somebody ran. It literally looks like the equivalent of if, again, if somebody just booted up GTA 6 and you're just running around doing random stuff. And it does, in a sense, it kind of does burst the bubble a little bit. It's like, oh, like it looks like GTA 5. It looks like Red Dead 2. It's almost like people kind of forgot, like, yeah, that's what this game is going to be. Like Bethesda still making Skyrim level movement 15 years later. People don't like it. GTA 6 needs better movement than 5 and even Red Dead. I'm trying to figure out. We haven't seen shooting mechanics yet. The way they're leaking this is very intentional. They're trying to limit what they show. Haven't seen shooting yet. The movement looks about what I expected. It's not, it looks, again, kind of weighty. It looks more like Red Dead 2 movement than even something like GTA 5. And some people might not like that. By the way, guys, IGN, we did mention this briefly yesterday, but for anybody who's wondering, Control Resonant has been hit by a last-minute delay that will impact the launch of its physical editions. While the Control sequel will still arrive digitally for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series consoles on September 24th, fans wanting a boxed copy will now need to wait until October 15th to play. So there hasn't been a reason given, but the physical version has been delayed to October 15th. So keep that in mind. I haven't seen the footage with the taser. Oh, you know what? Yeah, hold on. I haven't seen that yet. So that did kind of show the shooting mechanics. Where do I find this taser footage? Let me go on Twitter. I could probably find it on there. Oh, there is audio. I didn't know there was audio. Okay, hold on. I'm looking at it now. No, it's not playing. Oh, they have hit markers now. Sorry, this is the first time I'm seeing this. I didn't know there was audio.
I'm like very surprised by that for some reason. Interesting. Okay. Huh. Yeah, I mean, I completely understand. Like anybody who sees that gameplay, I don't know, like the aiming and the I still have my Twitter. Yeah, I haven't been going on it much, but did you notice he steals the security guard's hat after he knocks him out? I did see that. Yeah, no, I'm just saying all the leaked clips I've seen so far, none of them had audio. And this was the first one. I'm like, oh, okay. So the shooting mechanic with the taser, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look bad. It looks simple, is what it looks like, but it's a taser. I want to see like handguns, SMGs. That's funny that they all have audio. Yeah, this was the first time I was hearing the audio. I wasn't looking at these leaks through Twitter. I was looking at them in other places, and I think the other places where I was seeing, for some reason, they were muted. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they show it off. I mean, I still don't think it's going to stop people from buying it, you know? I think some people are going to see this and they're like, oh, this is underwhelming, but I still think they're going to buy it and play it. Wonder if with the new wanted system, you can still close from lines and wherever and change your appearance without just going to clothing stores. Yeah, it'll be really interesting. The one thing that I think these leaks are revealing, but not going in depth with, is there's clearly a lot of mechanics, like a lot of layered mechanics that they haven't shown off, and obviously, like, they're not going to present it. This is why I think like it is still going to be worth tuning into to let Rockstar and Take-Two show it themselves, because God knows how many other things you can do in this world that they're just, we have no idea. It's not being shown. Unless the 27th gameplay looks identical, it'll sell incredibly. What I'm fascinated by now is what these leakers are going to show before the 27th rolls around, because they said at 8:00 tonight they're going to leak more. This is nothing compared to 5M. Told you they had tons and tons of mechanics. Yeah, but they're not like official, right? Well, guys, I think this might be a good place to wrap it up. We'll do a 2-minute warning here. Last call, not warning. Last call, 2-minute call, warning, whatever you want to call it. We are 4 members away from hitting the goal of 25 today. So if you want to contribute to that, if you want to hit this goal at the last second, now is the time to do it. But we are also 6 likes away from hitting 150. 6 likes. So we need 6 more people to like the stream. We'll hit 150. And yeah, so we pretty much covered pretty much everything I wanted to today. And Shadow Link comes in. Shadow Link does it. He does a shadow drop. He shadow drops 5 more member gifts for you guys and gets us to 26.
Unjustifiably in a position that
I don't know if it's playing though.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah.
Guys, are my sound bites playing? I'm not hearing anything.
Yeah,
and Spine comes in. Spine drops another 5 member gifts for you. Boom. Just like that. We got 10. 10 more. And just a reminder, if you receive a member gift, it is playing. Okay. It's so weird because I can't hear it. 31. We got some motion. We got some motion, boys. Thank you,
Shadow Link and Spine. Boom, boom, knocking it out. Sorry, I'm like screaming into the microphone. Really, really appreciate that, guys. So we crushed the goal today. Got a lot of support today. Really, really, really good stuff. Geez, let me see what you're saying here. Saying read my last. MBG, not official, but Rockstar definitely took from what they created in RP servers, especially with breaking into cars and needing tools. And that is interesting. I mean, yeah, you have people basically doing like free development and giving away free ideas for them. And if you're Rockstar, you're going to want to pay attention. That's cool, though. That's cool to see that. Thank you for the jewels, Neutral Zone. And so, yes, I just want to once again let you know, if you are a channel member, if you receive a member gift, we did a members lounge yesterday. We did some Mortal Shell 2 gameplay, chatted with each other. Go check that out. We have a members exclusive Morning with the Misses coming this Friday. We're going to be doing a P.O. box opening and hanging out with you guys. It should be a good time. And yeah, we'll have more regular streams coming too, so more opportunities. Kayaking. Yeah, well, they released an official screenshot of GTA 6 showing somebody kayaking. So I think you'll be able to do that too. And RU46 N2 Ray in the chat dropped the P.O. box address. If you guys want to send me anything, there's the P.O. box. It's going to be open for quite some time. I think I'll probably just keep it open indefinitely for at least for now. For a while. It'll be open for a good long while. So if you want to send anything over, feel free. There's the Discord link if you want to join the Discord, the Steam Pren code. But guys, that's going to wrap up today's stream. Really appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate you showing support. We're 4 likes away from 150, by the way. We're close. We're close, boys. Thank you for hitting the member goal. Thank you for super chats, direct donations. I also want to make sure to give a special shout out to Devil Shooter. Devil Shooter does the timestamps for the streams. So if you see Devil Shooter in the comments with those timestamps, make sure you take a moment, give him some thanks, show him some love. I know he appreciates it. And yeah, Devil Shooter, thank you so much for that, man. No, I skipped out on the Wolverine pre-orders for the plates or the controllers or anything like that. I decided to pass on it. But not because I'm any less excited for the game, but because I'm not doing limited edition stuff anymore. I can't do it. You know, I spent so much money on that stuff. And it always, it always ends up just kind of like fading into some place. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's exciting for a little while and then it just like gets put away. And I'm like, I end up feeling bad because I'm like, damn, I spent so much money on that. But, or maybe I'm just getting older. I'm growing up. I don't need the shiny new thing right away. I don't need the limited edition thing. I say this, and like 3 months from now, I'm probably going to be like, I need that controller, bro, and I got to go pay double the price. No, I'm not doing that. All right, guys. That's it. That wraps up today's stream. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of your day, evening, or night. I do want to let you know, I should be streaming tomorrow. I will probably be streaming later. Okay, I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow morning. So if you come around at 12 p.m. Eastern and I'm not live, come back in an hour or two and you'll probably see something. Unless the stream for some reason gets canceled. I'll let you guys know in the Discord if that happens. All right. But that's it. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hit that like button as you're leaving, and I will catch all of you guys in the next one. Until then, take care, everyone.